Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever saw. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right there.
I don't think I've ever said this before.
All right, folks. So there's been a lot of weird things happening this weekend. What I can't tell you is Sunday morning I wake up early while everybody's asleep, and I watched the Diddy documentary of 50 Cent. 50 Cent documentary of Diddy. And let me tell you, craziness. I got some thoughts on that documentary. They talked about him killing Tupac and, you know, the link with Biggie and how he made Biggie pay for the funeral and a certain line in a song that he put that I'm going to read to you guys that says exactly what he did, but because of entertainment purposes, we will never be able to validate the fact that we know who took out Tupac. But anyways, I don't even know we're getting started with this, folks. There's, you know, many things going on right now. This is just some entertainment stuff that we watch. Congratulations to Inter Miami, Messi for the 2 assists. They won the championship. Max Verstappen for winning his 8th best driver of the year. But this guy named Landon Norris, nice guy, won it. Lewis Hamilton goes, congratulates him. Of course, he doesn't want Max to get another victory because it's getting closer to him, another championship. But Max, stud of a guy, stud of a racer. First place, Landon placed 3rd, but he won by 2 points, if I'm not mistaken, Tom.
Correct. Lando's the champion, but Max is the man.
Max is the man. So, okay. All right. Stories. Wealthy Americans ringing our phones off the hook to help with Trump accounts. What does that even mean? Well, Adam's got some thoughts on that. Trump honored with inaugural FIFA Peace Prize at World Cup draw, causing a suite that we were looking at for World Cup Championship. It's $3 million now for a suite.
Wait,
for how many seats? 17 seats.
Wait a minute. To watch one game.
Not just one game, Vinny.
The championship game.
This is the World Cup Championship.
But how much?
$3 million. That means if we all wanted to chip in to go, let me tell you how much it would be. Now, I'm being serious.
Go ahead.
$170,000 a person to go to a ticket.
Me and Tom are good. Tom.
There you go.
Rob, what did you think about that, Rob?
Bro,
one ticket
let me
to
explain
sit
something
in
to you. I
the
would not miss one. My eyes would be bleeding because I'd be like, get the hell away from me. I paid $120,000.
Person comes and interrupts you.
Get the...
Every second it's $700.
Yeah, I would pee on the floor. I'd be peeing on the floor.
It's the same price as that ostrich jacket that
No.
Tico
Yeah. Well, that's a different thing.
$175,000.
Somebody
Save
walks
that
in
money,
front of your
buddy.
By the
face
way,
to go to
they-
the bathroom. You owe me $1,400.
They announced all the different categories, who's going with who. Obviously, we're watching Iran very closely and a couple other where U.S. is at. Rob, if you want to pull that up in a minute here, maybe we'll go through it. And then Trump struggles to persuade Americans to ignore affordability issues. He says Biden to blame for affordability crisis, saying, I'm fixing it, something we should talk about. And then young adults are waiting in line to worship at the fastest growing Atlanta church. Why that is, we don't know. We will get into that as well. Ilhan Omar declares Somali criminals in U.S. are not going anywhere. There's even the Somalian guy that comes out saying, my only regret is that Trump may not be alive when he sees us taking over. Vinny, did you see that clip or no?
Yes.
You seen that clip? By the way, if you want Vinny to max bench press, play that clip in front of him and then say, you can't do 2 plays 10 times. Vinny just go, bam, like a combine. Boom. It's coming out cornerback. Anyways, okay, next. Communist China tried condom tax to boost cratered birth rate. Condom tax.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like stop buying condoms. So they're taxing condoms so you don't buy them.
That's right.
That means it's all about timing at that time.
That's exactly right. They raised it up, so it's too expensive to
get condoms.
So you just go for it.
They raised what up?
The price of condoms.
Right.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Got it. Elon Musk calls for the European Union to be abolished and a return of national sovereignty. Okay. X terminates European Commission's ad account. Tom, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say about this. After a $120 million fine, and Elon Musk and Trump administration go scorched earth on EU after the hit. Bunch of stuff here with the $100 million fine, $140 million fine. Folks, if you're a wealthy American, this story is going to upset you. It's a little offensive. Let me read 2 of them, but it's about you. You wealthy people. All the people with all this money walking around like you're better than others. Let me read this story to you, you wealthy people. More than 1 in 4 self-checkout shoppers have stolen. However, you ready for the follow-up? Wealthy Americans are more likely to steal from self-checkouts, according to reports. So let me get this straight. You have money and you're going and stealing bubble gum or a Time magazine or an ice cream? That's what New York Post says, that wealthy Americans do the self-checkout stuff and say, babe, put that apple juice in there. Take it. Run. Go, Larry. Run. Run, Jack. Surging gas prices worsen affordability crisis for Americans. New York City luxury buyers reportedly flooding Miami Beach real estate market after Mamdani's mayoral election. I thought nobody's leaving, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a thing that I thought more were going to New York instead of leaving?
Yeah, because I think on the Flagrant 2 podcast, they said that everybody was gonna stay. And did you see the video he made about ICE?
No.
He warned the city how to respond to ICE. It's actually pretty interesting. I'll have Rob play it like at a fast speed. He's letting you know how to, if you're illegal, how to evade cops.
Who did that,
Mamdani made a video telling people, make sure the paper looks like this, and they have to give you this. Like, what is he?
True American patriot
You'll
right
see.
there.
Did you follow the whole story with what happened with Akash and his wife and all that?
It's really bad. Like, here, my one thing is this, Pat. The most, he should never, ever, my advice, never let your wife be on a freaking microphone podcast if you're doing that.
Can we talk about that, Rob? Can we just have something?
Really
Let's just talk about it.
Myron Gaines really put some bad,
who did?
Byron Gaines put just a montage of all the stuff that she said.
Fresh and fit.
Oh my, Patrick, I thought it was all fake AI. No, he clipped all of his, it's bad. It's really bad.
Okay. All right. So, Trump administration reportedly skeptical about Netflix and Warner Brothers' $72 billion deal. Netflix leans on a $59 billion bank loan to fund Warner Brothers' takeover. Vinny's got a lot to say about those two stories. Tim Pool's home was apparently shot at by gunmen who approached property in a vehicle. Rob, I'm curious to know what facts have come out of that and what happened. I'm just glad everybody's safe and nothing happened there. Mm-hmm. And then Milo Yiannopoulos and George Santos. Why would you even go there? Santos calls out Milo over the latter's blunt remark about Charlie Kirk. We'll definitely talk about that.
Santos called out
Yeah, he goes, what the hell?
Santos called out
Milo.
And Santos is the voice of reason in this discussion?
Well, yeah, they were on Tim
Well,
Pool.
just watch this clip and we'll react to it. Rob's going to have it for us. And then we have to talk about the 50 Cent documentary. And then, listen, we're getting to a point running out of paper that Rob is just creating one page for Tom stories, okay? And by the way, Rob, this is normally a short list of stories for Tom. Yes or no? Be honest. Yes. Okay, so here we go. FIFA, that's Tom's story. Minnesota officials saw signs of massive fraud even before COVID hit. Trump calls affordability a Democrat scam and a con job. Paramount letters questions Warner Brothers Discovery sales process, which, by the way, they're calling it, I think they're calling like a monopoly thing, right? That's going on. The president even responded to it. Rob, if you've not seen the clip of president responding to the purchase, try to find that clip as well. It's not long. He's with his wife when they're asking him the question. And then Mamdani effect, Miami Realtors reports 166% spike in inquiries from wealthy New York City residents. So that story. And then I got Vinny's list as well because we got so many stories here. Stephen Miller's rhetoric. Okay? Rhetoric.
I like rhetoric better.
Reminds me of Nazis, says Representative Ilhan Omar. Black man acquitted of stabbing white man by Portland jury after victim said the N-word following the attack. Stop it.
He got stabbed by the black guy, says the N-word after, and they acquit him because of that. And I would have been like, let me explain something to you. If you stab me, whatever race you are, I'm going in on you. I'm saying the S word if you're Latin. I'm saying you just stabbed me.
Honor killing. 18-year-old Dutch girl drowned for Western behavior. Father, 2 brothers on trial.
Yep. Not wearing a hijab and wanting to have a boyfriend.
Unbelievable. Confidential grooming gang files exposed after legal wars as horrifying details emerge.
Remember the grooming gang stuff? It's unbelievable, the sentencing remarks from the judges. It's disgusting.
But that's not really happening, though, right?
No, they didn't rape it. The Pakistanis, really they were just...
Man convicted of criminal sexual conduct, accused of kidnapping women in separate Minnesota incidents.
Yeah, Somali guy.
And then Tucker Carlson says he plans to buy a home in Doha.
He is.
Defends Qatar, hosting Hamas. I'm an American wherever I want. I'll be wherever I want.
I'll buy whatever I
Okay.
want because he's free.
All right, there you
Kind
go.
of weird.
Weird. It's kind of
Weird.
Right? Marjorie Taylor Greene claims she's not MAGA and has zero interest of running, but apparently her and Leslie went back and forth,
Stall.
right? And they're like, no, you did it. No, you did it. No, I did it. No, you did it. You apologize.
I saw an AI where they were pulling each other's hair and
Was
slipping.
it really?
I fell for it. I'm like, hit her.
I know you are, but what am I?
I love it. Okay, so folks, if you love Christmas as much as we do, okay, we got 3 Christmas trees in the house. It's a spectacle. Every Christmas when, Thanksgiving ends, that following Friday, I have to carry this 10-foot tree that weighs 600 pounds, and the family waits for me to come through, and we get this big tree, we put it in there, and I go up the ladder, and I'm telling you right now, every year I'm getting closer to falling. Okay, I had it under control at 43, 44.
I saw the ladder.
At 47, Vinny, I am so high. I'm so high that if a little bit
It's over.
slips, I'm falling on my back. We're doing podcasts out of a wheelchair. I'm telling you right now.
Nobody's helping you?
And it's always like, can you put the star all the way up top? I'm like all the way trying to put this thing up. I think there's something going on. Like it's like an inside job. There's a story right
You
there.
have to do it yourself.
No. It's a blast. Obviously, everybody loves it, and Dylan loves decorating the tree. I hope for those of you guys that do as well. We love Christmas, and our Christmas merch is officially out. And the hat that we couldn't keep a single one of these. Guys were ordering 50 of these at a time. Rob, can you zoom in on that hat? This hat was such a massive hit last year. We sold 3,000 of them like this. They were gone, okay? And people were buying it as Christmas gifts for others, and then they were sending it to their clients, their friends. It says, Merry Christmas, future looks bright on the bottom and on the side with the VT logo. It's just a sick hat. We got a few hats. One of the hats sold out. This one that says Merry Christ Christmas.
Nice.
This one sold out. This one's gone. But you have the red one. You have the green one to choose from. And then that one as well, Rob. You have this one. This other one we have as well. If you want to go to this one, Rob, this Christmas on the bottom right. Yeah, right there. And then we have the Christmas. If you want to go and show Vinny, our model. Folks, look at our models wearing their, and these come with a nice, look at this. Look at this. This is the
Santa.
That's the pajamas, right? The Merry Christmas
They're
pajamas,
so
the ugly
comfortable.
sweater, future looks bright.
They're so comfortable.
Super, super comfortable. Forget about the socks Vinny's wearing that made it in there. Those socks don't come with it.
No.
But they're modeling. They look like a beautiful family. So if you want your whole family to be wearing the pajamas, the Merry Christmas. We also got these sweaters here as well.
Max's
the
truck
ugly
is in
sweater.
there.
This is sick.
Look at that.
Go to vtmerch.com, place your order. And we decided for everybody that does it, we just ordered a few thousand of these. You're going to get the Valuetainment Merry Christmas ornament that we're going to give to you. And the Valuetainment Future Looks Bright, Santa Claus, Merry Christmas. With any order you place, go to vtmerch.com, place your order. And guess what? Kamala Harris doesn't want you to say Merry Christmas.
Yep.
And we don't mind saying it. Okay? We don't mind saying it at all. Merry, Merry Christmas to you. Okay. Having said that, let's get right into the story. Rob, which story do we want to get into first? Do we want to just start off with 50 Cent? Do we want to start off with that? What do we want to get? What is the audience saying, Rob?
Ilhan Omar and the Somali fraud is what the audience voted.
Ilhan Omar. Okay, we'll go to that second story. Let's start off with Diddy. I just want to get right into it. Rob, can you play? So 50 Cent has been working on this documentary for almost 2 years. The footage he has is insane. The people he got speaking about Diddy is ridiculous. And on top of that, the only place he agrees to do the interview, Rob, if you can show this, he goes and interviews with ABC, and there's an Instagram post he put up, Rob. I don't know if you have that or not. If you go on his Instagram account, he goes and does the interview about Diddy's documentary on ABC, and they say the reason why he did it on ABC, it's that one right there, Rob, the one you had it on, is because ABC news station is one of only few stations they're allowed to watch in prison.
Just trolling.
With that smile. So he wants Diddy to know the world is watching you and what you did. So in a documentary, there's a couple things I'll share with you guys on what I took away from it. But Rob, maybe share the clip on how he got access to some of the footage of the documentary. Is this the one, Rob?
Yep.
Go for it.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
Perhaps. Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
Okay, so that doesn't mean it's not true.
Of course.
But they relied on stolen footage, okay, is what they relied on. And then they ask about the history of 50 and him, issue that they've had. What's the one you just pulled up, Rob?
This is where they talk about the feud, and then I also have 50 Cent talking about Diddy's reaction to the documentary.
Yeah, that's so funny. That is so funny. But watch this one here. Go ahead, Rob.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
Yeah, I mean, so that's that part, right? The fact that the feud with the two of them, hey, let me take you shopping. Like, you say that to a girl, 50 is like, what are you talking about? Take me shopping. Out of your flipping mind, you want to take me shopping. And then last but not least, Rob, the other clip you have of 50 is talking about how he thinks Diddy's going to like this documentary. Go ahead, Rob.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
She can't even hold it.
Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
Okay, have you seen it?
I saw the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, first of all, I swear to you, I had no idea it was 50s because the footage is very personal in the beginning where he's talking to his lawyer in a hotel room live. The person's recording it, and then across from him in the building, there's cops looking at the hotel room because I guess there was a warrant. Yeah, this is basically like that scene. But let me ask you a question, Pat. And I don't want you to have to give it away for people that haven't seen it. What was one of the things that stuck out to you where you were like, oh, well,
I mean, listen,
God.
I'm going to say what I took away. You can go do whatever you want to do, and you still want to watch it. So, okay. Rob, can you pull up the characters that were in it? One of the guys was a guy that owned 25% of Bad Boy, okay? He owned 25% of Bad Boy. When he started Bad Boy, it was between two guys, okay? I think the guy's name is Kirk Burroughs, if I'm not mistaken. Can you type in Kirk Burroughs to see the face?
Glasses and the dreads?
Let me see if this is the one. Kirk Burroughs. Yeah, can you go to images to see if that's him, Kirk
that's
Burroughs?
him.
Okay, so that's him.
Yeah.
He owned 25% of Bad Boy. When they started Bad Boy, he puts 25 under his name, 75 under his mother's name. Diddy does. So 75% of the company's under his mother's name, 25% is under his name. One day he comes up to him, fully ready to take this guy out, says, you have to sign off the 25% to me. He says, I'm not going to do it. He says, you have to do it. He forces him to sign up and gives away the 25% over to Diddy, okay? Gives away the 25% to Diddy. That's his.
Threatening his life?
He threatens his life, allegedly, to give up the 25%, which he ends up giving up to Diddy. And he says, I'm going to give it back to you. Never gives it back to him. And then later on, when he takes him to court to say, this is my 25%, the court says, no, you have mental issues. You're having challenges here. This is out of control. Boom. Diddy ends up keeping the 25%. Nothing ever happens. He never gets the 25% back. This is the guy that was doing all the deals, okay? But as you go through the story with him and the stories of the girls and what happened and how he became super famous was that basketball game in New York that he set up, that 9 people died, and he had to go in front of TV and explain the fact that I was trying to put together the greatest basketball game ever. It's called the City College Stampede. 9 kids died. Have you heard about the story?
No.
You've never heard about the story? Rob, can you just go online and type in this? This is how Diddy became famous.
What year was this?
This is Diddy's 19 years old. If you just type in the City College, this is 34 years ago, guys.
Wow.
Exactly 34 years ago. Go to a clip of it, Rob, if you can, just to show. Go to the cover of that page. Go to the cover there. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
8 crushed to death. And ends up becoming 9, by the way. Yeah, true story. But if you go and see if you can find a video, Rob, of what it looked like. If you type if you type in video, so everybody's coming to this game, all the major NBA, all the major rappers, everybody's, oh my God, it's going to be great, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And in that image right there, go to that image right there with Diddy, the middle one. That's him doing the press conference. He does the press conference on that day at 19-ish years old. Boom, he becomes famous.
Wow.
And he creates that rumor reputation of he can put the biggest parties in the world and people show up. The biggest promoter. So that became a way where his image got bigger and bigger and bigger with this. And then when you continue, there's a part with what he didn't like is that Tupac and Biggie started getting very close because Tupac would allow Biggie to open for him. So you guys have to realize, I had Greg Kading on the show 10 years ago. Greg Kading is the guy that was the lead investigator of Tupac. He was in the documentary as well. He was investigating what happened to, he was investigating what happened to, and Rob, if you can pull up the podcast with he and I, and the way I did it on the board, and I put all the suspects of who it could have been, and then he gets the recording and shows with Keefe D. Keefe D is the guy that was the boss who Diddy allegedly offered $1 million. They said, he'll take $1 million to take both of them out. So, and he's saying the recording, he's saying it to the feds. So right here, if you zoom in on this list, Rob, can you zoom in on the list? Okay. So if you zoom in, you see the bottom 3 names. You see the bottom 3 names right there?
On the right?
By his right hand.
Tupac?
Right there. Yeah, that's Keefe D is right in the middle.
Okay.
The one to the left is the guy that stole one of the Death Row Records chains.
Oh.
Zoom in a little bit. You can't do it? Okay, it's all good. No worries. So the guy in the middle is the guy that's having a conversation who says, yeah, he offered us $1 million to take him out, Keefe D. And so they try to get the money. They're not able to kill both because he wanted them to kill both Suge and Pac.
In the car?
They only kill Pac. And they don't kill Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right?
Corey.
He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000. And that money never went to Keefe D or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the chain, the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain. Because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing isn't recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million. Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower. Boom. Muscle.
You see it in this game?
Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just going to start making y'all disappear. Man, first I'm going to take your records off the radio. Then I'm going to erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out flies. I'm going to do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics, he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in, I'll drop $1 million, just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up?
Phrase.
I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to get rid of Tupac.
What an idiot.
He's saying this like that is the level of criminality to say,
arrogance.
I'm going to get away with it, right? One day I'm at an NBA game. This was 2 years ago, right before he got arrested. I had done like 3 videos on Diddy. He's at a game with one of his girls. He sees me, I see him. Listen, if there's a guy in the hip-hop world, I cannot stand is this guy. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. And then we're locked in. Vinny, when I tell you we're locked in eye to eye, 2 minutes.
And you're not breaking.
Neither one of us are breaking.
And
okay?
he's across the...
Look, you don't understand. To me, Tupac was as a young kid coming up, he played a very big role as
in your painting.
Yeah, he's
the most influential people in your life.
To me, that guy was so to me, you took this guy out. I investigated a lot of people based on the reports and things that we talked to a lot of different people. It always comes back to Diddy. And the more and more you put the stuff together, there's another story about what happened with Biggie. So same partner, that guy that's a 25% owner. So they said, okay, let's go to L.A. and let's do this tour in L.A. Biggie's like, there's videos of Biggie saying, man, I feel like something's about to happen. I feel like someone's going to take me out. He's supposed to go to L.A. And then right after L.A., he's supposed to go to U.K. For a tour. He's already got flight and everything booked. Diddy calls... what's the guy's name?
Edwards on the right? All the way on the right? Corey Edwards?
Corey Edwards. He calls him and he says, cancel his flight. So what do you mean cancel his flight? Cancel his flight. I'm not canceling his flight. He's going to New York. He's going to UK. Cancel his flight. So they cancel his flight. Biggie stays, and then he gets killed. And the rest is history.
Jeez.
And by the way, he uses that to come out and creates that song, Every Breath I... And Sting performs it, and he dances.
Of course.
Celebrating the death, and he's praying to Biggie, and he puts the biggest funeral together, and guess who pays for the funeral? He uses all the money from Biggie to pay for Biggie's funeral.
Jeez.
This guy's the biggest dirtbag out there in this space. Biggest dirtbag, and I'm so glad that, what's his name, did this, 50 Cent did this. And by the way, if you're thinking that he's going to take shots at Bieber and J-Lo and any of that, or Leonardo, nothing like that happens in this documentary. It's not that documentary. I think those guys were probably protected to not show what the Bieber thing is and what the other stuff is. But you really learn about this guy's character and the ties with the mom and who the mom was and beating him up, and the dad being a former mobster. And they used to say is that dad was a former FBI informant working with Frank Lucas. You know Frank Lucas from American Gangster? Apparently, Diddy's dad has ties to Frank Lucas. If you type in Diddy's dad, Frank Lucas, zoom in a little bit, Rob. Was an associate right there. Diddy's father, Melvin Earl Combs. Melvin was an associate of drug lord Frank Lucas. You know who Frank Lucas is? $275 million.
He was doing heroin and flying everything back and forth to Vietnam.
But allegedly, Diddy's dad was an FBI informant, is who he was. Wow. Okay, allegedly, Diddy's dad was an FBI informant. So, some people are saying maybe Diddy was protected all this time because maybe he was also an FBI informant. The guy said, every room you went into, he recorded everything. Every room you went into, he recorded everything. So listen, all in all, it's a great documentary to watch. If you're following, the only reason I follow the story is because only one reason I watch a documentary is because I wanted to see what the ties were with Tupac. And there's a whole section that has to do with Tupac. A whole section tied to Tupac. Anyways,
no, where does this go from here? Because 50 had this footage. Somehow he got this footage.
Yeah.
What was Diddy charged with? Meaning, what was he found guilty of?
He's going to do 4 years and he's going to be free, which is...
So by the time there's another election, Diddy's going to be free?
And by the way, there's a whole section where they interviewed the jurors.
Okay.
The jurors sided with Diddy.
How do you mean?
You have to see what they're saying in the documentary.
They sided with Diddy?
They sided with Diddy.
In what capacity?
Because they felt bad for him. They're just trying to take advantage of him. They're trying to take money from a rich guy, and that's all this is. It is a conspiracy. He wouldn't do such a thing. The jurors were siding with Diddy, which it's a spectacle. By the way, the guy's going to get out and he's going to put a big party together, and people are going to go to the party. And
a lot of baby oil.
A lot of baby oil. By the way, there's a whole story with the baby oil.
What's the story with the baby oil?
Oh, Vinny, the guy.
I have to watch the whole thing tonight.
The guy who was the one that was hooking up with Cassie while he was watching.
Yeah.
And they're going at it.
I remember that guy.
He talks about the whole thing. And one time when Diddy was about to go to kill Kid Cudi because Cassie ran away to go hook up with Kid Cudi. He calls Cassie calls Diddy's assistant, whose mother used to be a cocaine addict, who died at a young age, and she had to take care of it. So she's like, I'm used to personalities like this. This is Diddy's assistant. She calls the assistant to say, I'm with Kid Cudi. He's like, listen, Diddy can cheat on you. You can't cheat on Diddy. And says, if he finds out he's going to kill you, well, guess who finds out? Diddy finds out. Diddy grabs a gun, says, we're going together, tells the girl, takes her to go to find Cassie because they're going to kill Cassie. Jeez. I mean, listen, Kid Cudi and Cassie was this 19-year-old coming up, attractive, drop-dead gorgeous, and he was all like there's a whole part about Diddy where he wanted to hook up with his friends' girls. Whoever his friends' girls were with, he wanted to hook up with them.
What about his friends' boyfriends?
That comes on later on. Too, no? But you know what he does? He finds out who Suge Knight's side chick was in Atlanta. He gives her a $50,000 diamond ring to hook up with Suge Knight because Suge was a boss of Death Row Records. And it's his way of saying, I have to get even with Suge.
Because
so
Suge went up
he
on
buys a $50,000 diamond ring or diamond necklace for this girl, whatever, to... There's a lot to it.
And that beat, you know that beat, because he went, remember, it was the Hip Hop Source Awards where Suge went on stage and was like, hey, man, if y'all don't want, your producers dancing all up in the videos, come to Death Row. Oh, they hated each other.
And then Diddy gets up on stage and he says, listen, I heard somebody says that if you don't want your, this to get in the videos, here's what I'm all about. I'm about all of us celebrating each other's successes, and I just want to give a shout out to all the winners tonight.
Yeah.
And then behind closed doors says, I got to take this guy
Taking
out.
him out.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think was? I want to bring up some lyrics. What do you think was Diddy's motivation? Is it money? Is it power?
Evil?
Is it psychopathy? Is it Machiavellianism?
And envy, control, limelight. He has to be the face, and nobody can have it.
Rob Gorley, the bottom of the song?
Envy. He has to be the face. He has to be the limelight. Nobody can have it more than him.
And obviously, he's the reason that he became super, super, super famous. He was the producer for Biggie. And Biggie was numero uno.
Yep.
1 and 2, Tupac and Biggie.
And the guy who was partners with, the guy that brought him up, type in Diddy's first mentor. This is the guy that Diddy went and worked as his assistant at a young age that
What's
took him
his
in.
name?
Andre Harrell.
Who?
Andre Harrell takes him, the founder of Uptown Records.
yeah.
And you know what Andre Harrell does?
What does he do?
He fires him. Because he says, Diddy's getting out of control, disrespecting me. He fires Diddy and tells Diddy, you can leave and you can take only one client. And guess who he takes? The
Biggie?
only client he takes is, he says, you can take Biggie. Nobody else is coming with you. He allowed Diddy to leave with only Biggie, and that's when he starts Bad Boy, and he gives 25% to that guy and 75% to his mom.
Interesting.
This is the guy that mentored him. That's the guy everybody wanted to work for.
That's the 25% guy?
No, Andre Harrell
gotcha.
is the founder of Uptown Records, which everybody was under. He mentored Diddy. And he's a legend in the
Diddy
game.
became bigger than him.
If you know Andre Harrell, he's like a legit G in this game.
Well, back to the Cassie thing. If you want to explore lyrics and be like, well, how literal are we going to take this? So you know the song that goes, last night, couldn't even get an answer. I tried to call.
One of my favorite beats.
So great song, Keisha Cole.
What?
Yeah. At the end of the song, he's calling her through the whole video. I couldn't get an answer.
Yeah.
He leaves her a voicemail. Do you know what he says on the voicemail? Here it is right here. He goes, hey, what's up? I've been trying to reach you all night. This stuff ain't funny, not picking up my mother effing calls. You better stop playing with these mother feelings. You know how much I love you, right? And then can I get a completed seconds though for a couple of seconds? Then I couldn't get in touch with you, and I'm ready to move on. I'm going to shoot the mother effer up, you Emma effing dumb B. So this is he's basically saying to his girl, yo, you don't pick up my call? I'm going to come shoot up your house.
It's almost as if
I don't
he
know
told
how much
everybody.
literal we can take these words, but certainly when there's smoke, there's
what
fire.
it is. You know what it is. You know how comedians sometimes when they get caught, when they try to get extremely analytical with database, and then somebody catches them, somebody super brilliant, and then they're like, "I'm just a comedian."
Like Dave Smith.
And here, what rappers can get away with is what? This is entertainment. It's just a song.
Of course.
This is not real. I don't mean this. It's entertainment. It's just rap. Tom, you look like you want to say something.
No, this genre of music is not my lane.
Specialty, yeah.
No. This genre is not my lane, but it's really sad because you see it. You see it. The psychology of crime. You see it in so many other areas. The denial, the narcissism, and stuff like that. You know, Elizabeth Holmes had it and defrauded $100 million from investors, ended up in prison without like the violence and the foreshadowing and the tipping off through the lyrics. You see the psychology of people who, you know, they get on that rail and they're just that train, they're the head of the train and they're going here. Nothing can get in front of it. Nothing can distract it. People are tossed off that don't, that don't support it. And it's a psychology of crime.
You know who I want to hear from? Ray Dalio.
Yeah, because
you know that they have a
interview
relationship.
together.
Ray Dalio and Diddy. Ray Dalio was kind of a mentor to Diddy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything illegal, 0%. I don't know anything about that. He was a mentor of his because Combs and Dalio, they were at some award. It was alphabetical. Here they go, right here. Founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the richest men in the world, hedge fund guy. Help him to advance his success to the next level. Would love to hear what Ray Dalio has to say on Diddy. Would love to hear it.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, if this topic interests you, go watch the documentary. It's actually a very good documentary. Okay, let's get to the next story. Next story is, Rob, where's the Ilhan Omar story of what she gets up and she says? Let's take a look at this.
That'll be page 10. She starts with saying that Somalis won't be leaving
All right,
Minnesota.
Here we go. Ilhan Omar declares Somali criminals in the U.S. are not going anywhere. Specifically, Somali criminals, so she is saying the criminals are not going anywhere.
Yep.
This is on the Joe Reed Show. Go ahead, Rob.
I know that those of us who are Somali in this country see ourselves as Americans. That's what our passport says. That's what our nationality is. And we know that we are protected by the 14th Amendment. We know that we're not going anywhere. And there is no way. I mean, he needs to I know he says he hasn't met me. Maybe he should spend 5 minutes with me because then he would know that as Somalis, we are never intimidated and, we're never going to feel like our esteem or confidence is
American
shaken
flag in the back.
Get the hell
by
out
a
of here.
bigoted fool,
She probably spits on that thing every
making
day.
a mockery of the White House, of our nation, and of the presidency.
Do you believe her, Vinny?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You could just listen. A lot of people always want facts. Give me facts. Just your vibe and your feeling from her eyes and the words that come out of her mouth. She hates this place. She hates it, and she wants her people. Look at what her people have done. Look at what they've done. You've come to a freaking state, 90,000 people. I'm not saying it's all of them, but you've stolen. You've talked crap. You've bashed this freaking country. And now, when the head of the snake turns toward you, it's like, no. You guys are all racist, and it's all our fault. And I think it's absolutely disgusting, Pat.
Tom, what do you think about this? Because you're following this closely.
Yes, I found a story over the weekend from CBS News. That's right, CBS News did a deep dive on the failures of what happened in Minnesota. And do you know when it started? The first discovery was 2019, where the One Future, remember Feeding Our Future?
Yep.
Billed the state for $3.4 million, and somebody called it out, and they go, what is this? So it was $3.4 million. It was when it first started. And that was when that first woman got involved in it, who is currently awaiting sentencing, and she says she's going to appeal it and everything. But anyway, it suddenly ballooned, Pat. It ballooned a lot. Ready for this? Between 2019 and 2021, they claimed they served 91 million meals in the state of Minnesota. How the hell do you serve 91 million meals?
You don't.
You don't. They just kept falsifying name upon name upon name upon name.
91 million meals?
They claimed were served, according to the CBS News story. They broke on December 5th.
Okay, let's do math. Let's do math, Tom. Let's just actually do math. So here's the math I want to do.
From 2019 to 2021.
Okay, so 2 years, 91 meals, 91 million meals. Let's just do basic math.
Okay.
Let's just say they fed them 3 meals a day.
Okay.
Okay, how many total people are they, Tom? How many total people are they?
In Minnesota, you got to look up the population of Minnesota and then find out how many are kids. Because remember, you had to be kids under 16 for this.
So this was kids under 16. That's what this is about.
Yeah, the Feeding Our Future was children, right?
So let's do the math. If it's 91 million meals, 2 years, 2019 through 2021. Okay, so let's just say let's even say that's 3 years, which is what? 1,100 days. Okay, so 9,100 meal divided by 1,100 days. Divided by 1,100 days equals 82,727, okay? Then that's if they feed them a meal every day. Then if you take 3 meals a day, that's 28,000 kids that were fed every day straight for 3 years straight.
Unbelievable.
3 meals a day.
No, I don't believe.
No, not with the population of Minnesota. And the federals came in on it because Governor Walz received $250 million in federal matching funds because he took the program to there. They said, hey, we've been feeding all these kids and our budget can't carry this. We need this. So he was given the money in 21.
Additional 250?
The 250. Now, who got the money? Who gave him the money in 2021?
Biden.
Exactly. And then this goes, and by the way, they've now estimate that this $1 billion is just sort of a rounding of the first. No one will put together a hard number following up, but they say that it's like a rounding of what this is probably all about. But listen to Omar. Here's Omar's pathology. This is a failure of the FBI. That's what she said. Oh, to accuse us of this, you're racist. We are all citizens, or actually not. There is one estimate that said up to 60% of them are here illegally once they get around to checking IDs.
60%.
60% of the Somalis up there are there illegally. So look at her thing. Oh, now it's, this is our country. We are Americans. Look at all the deceptive angles that she's putting into this to create this, I'm going to call it the fog of war around the investigation.
And Tom, she became a multi-millionaire in this time frame. She was making no money, probably like $50,000, $60,000, and all of a sudden, boom, she's worth $28, $25, $30 million. Bro.
Well, CBS pointed out that there were 7 people that were found to be living ridiculously lavish lifestyles on this.
Yeah, cars
and there
and
are
houses.
people that have been, incarcerated. It's 87 people have been charged, 61 convictions. The U.S. Attorney's Office is still all over this, but they're not getting cooperation. They're not getting witness cooperation.
Ilhan Omar's net worth when she entered office in 2019, she had negative $45,000 in student loan debt. No.
What year?
2019.
Okay.
Today, her net worth is somewhere between $6 to $30 million.
We did that one already, and they say some of that's tied because of her husband.
Yeah, which is still,
it's a little suspect. Rob, what do you have here?
This is where she talks about the fraud being on the behalf of the FBI. It's the FBI's fault that they did not catch this fraud that was going to the terror organizations.
And who have been sentenced. If there was a linkage in the money that they had stolen going to terrorism, then that is a failure of the FBI and our court system in not figuring that out and basically charging them with these charges. And so I do know that for many years, this sort of like alarm that there is money being transferred through the airport in bags and going to terrorism that accusation has always existed. There's never been here and there in those accusations. But if that is the case, if money from U.S. tax dollars is being sent to help with terrorism in Somalia, we want to know.
Yeah.
And we want those people prosecuted.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that that doesn't ever happen again.
let me ask you,
This is
do
the
you
recency.
believe anything that's coming out of her mouth? She's the same woman that said on 9/11 about the terrorists that some people did something, meaning she wasn't like knocking them from what they did. And then one time she was talking about a professor, and she was like so proud that every time he talked about Al Qaeda, like he was happy about it. I love the fact that because of her big mouth, because of Tim Walz's big mouth, Pat, because of the mayor's talking about the president and bashing this country, it made everybody turn around, and now all eyes are on them. And I hope they all get held accountable, Tom.
She was a non-cooperating. She was not cooperating with anybody. This is only Face the Nation on CBS. CBS calling her, hey, come be on the show. And in the statements that she's made, she is doubling down. But you also see that she's putting together a defense here. Is
Of
what
course.
she's doing. It's like the ring. I mean, they got a lot of prosecutions going, and you've got U.S. attorneys appointed by Trump and others that are closing in on this now, and you've got her suddenly saying, "Oh, well, we want to have good things in America. We wouldn't want this to happen. We want these people prosecuted, but it would be the FBI's fault. Oh my gosh, it'd be the FBI's fault." But you see how she's moving from the staunch arrogance of just a few months ago to now she's actually I think she's trying to put up a defense here. I think she's getting ready for it.
Well, let's. The question is, let's see what happens here. The reality of it is, how long does the current FBI have to investigate this? 3 more years. That's what they got.
Yes.
3 more years. You got 3 years to get to the bottom of it or not. If you do, good. If you don't, Newsom gets in. If he does win, guess what? This is going to clear up and it's going to move on. But you got 3 years to accelerate the process of this investigation.
Did you hear what she said on Face the Nation about Stephen Miller?
I have that.
No.
Pat, you have to I'm gonna let you guys.
Miller?
She called Stephen Miller, who's Jewish, basically called him because she's on the tour. Tom's right. She's on the Somali community, Minnesota fraud. We didn't do anything tour.
Yeah.
Look.
Let's find justice.
Look what she calls Stephen Miller, a Jewish man, mind you. Look what she calls him. Go ahead, Rob.
And his white supremacist rhetoric, it reminds me of the way the Nazis described Jewish people in Germany. And, as we know, there have been many immigrants who've tried to come to the United States who've turned back, one of them being Jewish immigrants. We know the way that people were described who were coming Rob,
from... first of all, you're calling a Jewish... I can see when they call Trump and all of us, Nazis, whatever. You're talking about a Jewish guy whose family probably lived through the nightmare of the Holocaust and all that type of stuff. For her, it's like, how disgusting and vile. You know what pissed me off too? Margaret Brennan sitting there, not one pushback, not one, wait a minute, you're calling a Jewish guy a Nazi and a white supremacist? Like, that says a lot about your character. This girl, Margaret Brennan. And then I did some research, Rob. Look where she went to school. Where'd you go to school, Pat? Scroll down a little bit. She went to University of Virginia, where she got the highest degree, about bachelor's in foreign affairs and Middle Eastern studies, minors in Arabic, and also she married a guy who's Syrian. So I could see how she loves Middle Easterns, and she wouldn't call out somebody calling a Jewish guy a Nazi and a white supremacist. And then, by the way, you know how we did a lot of research on how, a lot of these not all, obviously, but a lot of these Muslim communities, they do the incest thing. And what does incest do? Lowers your IQ. We need to maybe Ilhan has something in her family, because only an idiot would say something this freaking stupid. And then I thought about it. I did some research. Did you guys know this, Patrick? That her calling him a Nazi, white supremacist, Jewish, all that stuff. Guess who her father is? Noor Omar Mohammed. He was a colonel for the Somali dictator Saeed Barre, B-A-R-R-E, Rob, who in the late 1880s ordered the genocidal bombing and extermination of up to 200,000 ISIS civilians in northern Somalia. So weird. You're calling him a Nazi and a white supremacist. Your dad actually worked for somebody that was doing genocide. So you need to shut your mouth, because now, like I said, nobody cared about you and your Somalia. Now everybody's looking at you, and now people are digging into you.
I love the way you connect those dots. And the other thing, if I'd been the reporter, I would have just come back and I said, so are you... Wait. You're telling me you're a historian, you're going to talk about how the Nazis talked about the Jews. Yeah, I think you should draw a line there and go make your point without that.
Thank you, Tommy. Because Pat, you're an actual, legitimate reporter. You have a woman calling a Jewish guy a freaking Nazi. Like, what?
I'm not going to let you sit here and be a World War II historian.
Exactly.
This is Ilhan Omar's dad?
That's Ilhan Omar's dad. This is a Saeed Barre.
Look at the mustache he's got.
Holy moly.
Inspiration.
Weird.
Yeah.
No, but that's her father was Noor, N-U-R, Omar Mohammed.
Worked
for this guy who did freaking atrocities and massacred and did a genocide. So please stop talking, okay? But I'm happy that they're doing an investigation into her and her freaking Somalis. And by the way, now there's Somalis. They're out there pissing on Donald Trump's star in Hollywood. They're out there making videos.
Do you have that clip of the guy that says, I can't wait. The only thing I regret is that the president will never see. Yeah, that one right here. Have you seen this one, Vinny?
No, please show this.
Watch this. Go ahead.
Biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover. Oh. Yes, he may never witness that. He already witnessed our partial takeover, our little success in America. And he is the reason, actually, I know that the community in America is thriving. He is how I know. It's like, he's how we measure our progress. If he doesn't tweet, somebody messed up. I know it. Somebody fucked up the plan. If he tweet,
you can pause it right there. And then go to by the way,
Captain Phillips.
They're just being so open about it. This guy here,
so
Vietnamese guy that goes viral.
I love this
Look
guy.
how he brings common sense into this. Go ahead, Rob.
Since when the fuck did we have to bow down to certain communities? Look, I'm Asian. I'm Vietnamese, okay? When we have our own communities too, and our communities thriving. You know, we have businesses. We've been here only, what, less than 50 years after the 1975. Our communities are thriving throughout the United States. If you look at our numbers, there's only about 2 million of us here in the United States. And out of that 2 million people that we have, majority of us have businesses, scientists, engineers, doctors, bright mind people that given back to this country more than we've taken. And we have never asked anybody to bow down or speak our language, okay? Since when the fuck this stupid ass mayor of the little pirate motherfucking land pirates Molian in Minnesota have to speak their language and apologizing for those motherfucking crook ass pirates? Since when we have to do that? This is just a fucking crook, and he's a Jewish dude. What a shame. You know? What a shame. What the fuck's wrong with him?
He's talking about
well,
the
I have
mayor.
to say this: he learned English pretty well.
He's talking about the mayor in Minnesota who had to like worship them and speak their language and eat their freaking slop. By the way, I think we were the first ones to talk about it when he was eating that food in a restaurant. He was like, that went super viral over the weekend. He looked miserable trying to chew on that food, Matt. So miserable.
Eating the food.
Oh, it was horrible. But
Adam, did you want to say something
Yeah, of
about
course.
this?
So the biggest issue that we're facing, it's a culture issue. So you always hear the notion that Islamism or Islam is incompatible with the West. Well, it kind of is. So the ironic thing about Ilhan Omar is she has infinitely more rights in America than she would have or any female would ever have in Somalia. Somalia is one of the most restrictive countries in the world for women. 98% of women get female genital mutilation. Nearly universal there. Child marriage, there's no protection from sexual violence. You're limited to freedom of movement. Women are second class, even third class citizens in Somalia. Somalia is one of the most dangerous, worst shithole countries in the world. But then when they come here, they say things like, we are proud Somalians, we don't back down. No. Cool, respect your heritage. Assimilate. You have a Vietnamese guy like, oh, you motherfucker. They build businesses. The biggest issue we have with Ilhan Omar is don't tell me anything anymore. Show me. Show me the receipt, so to speak. Yep. Show me what you're doing. Show me that you're building businesses. Show me that you love America. Show me that you care. Don't show me that you're sending money to Al-Shabaab in Somalia. Don't show me that you hate Donald Trump, that you speak against the president. Show me that you love America. Right now, their talk is cheap. Rhetoric is cheap. So either you're going to walk the walk or you're just going to talk the talk. All she's doing is talking, blowing hot air.
And I hate the fact that, and you come here, and and this is the system. I'm gonna blame them, but you can't blame them about the welfare. Think about this: immigrants from Somalia overwhelmingly rely on government welfare. In Norway, 73% of Somali immigrants are on government aid. 73%. In Sweden, 64% of Somali immigrants do not have jobs or education. In Denmark, 69% of Somali immigrants are on public benefits. And in America, 88% of Somalians rely on welfare programs. So everybody here, everybody that's home, that's listening, you're probably at your job right now, you are busting your ass. So 88% of them could have whatever the hell they want, not speak English, and shit on the country. I have a huge problem with that. Of course. And that is the system. The system needs to change. That's the same system that one guy stabbed somebody, 63 times you get arrested? What are we doing?
The biggest thing is this. We can talk about it from a national perspective, podcast, whatever. The people in Minnesota, hey guys, Minnesota nice. Is this what you want from your state? Is this what you want? You know, a generation ago, it was the whitest, blondest, blue-haired people. And I'm all about diversity and acceptance. Great, we all love that. But at what point does tolerance completely backfire?
It's the same people that are going to keep voting for Gavin Newsom.
Let's talk about, you're talking about tolerance. I mean, there's no better example of tolerance than EU. So X terminates European Commission's ad account after a £120 million fine on December 7, 2025, 2 days after the regulatory body imposed a £120 million fine against the Platform for Digital Services Act violations, making an unprecedented escalation in the conflict between the social media company and the European regulators. Nikita Beer, X's head of product, announced the termination in response to Commission's announcement of the fine, according to a post on X. The irony of your announcement: you logged into your dormant ad account to take advantage of an exploit in our ad composer to post a link that deceives users into thinking it's a video and to artificially increase its reach, Beer wrote. As you may be aware, X believes everyone should have an equal voice on our platform. However, it seems you believe that the rules should not apply to your account. Your ad account your ad account has been terminated. The accusation creates a noble contradiction. X's head of product acknowledged the platform for advertising formats capable of deceiving user about content type, the same category of deceptive design practices cited in the European Commission's £120 million fine. Beer's statement characterized this ad as an exploit rather than an intentional product feature, suggesting the platform recognizes the deceptive potential of certain advertising presentation methods. By the way, the £120 million is $140 million US dollars. Tom, your thoughts on this?
So I dug into this over the weekend, and it is so wrong by our standards. There is no American-style free speech in Europe. There isn't. Go look in England, and if you say something online, they come get you. And that's basically what's happening here. The Europeans, the core Europeans, are furious with the ruling elites who imported the third world, and they can't speak about it, and they can't challenge it, and they can't talk about it. And then this account goes sideways, so the EU says, wait a minute. The people were finding platform. Remember, this starts with door-knocking cops in the UK and spreads across the continent. And they're trying to shut the free speech down, and they're trying to get in front of it. And so they're like, we have a social media law, and that is, will you please stop giving? Here's the headline, Pat. I'm fining you $140 million US dollars. Here's why. We don't have your kind of free speech, and you're helping our people exercise American-style free speech, but we want all of the citizens to STFU because that's not the way we do it. We're making the decisions here, and we don't want to hear citizens getting revved up. And Pat, it's not that the speech was on the platform. It was the amount of followership it was getting from core regular citizens who were saying, I am pissed off about how many of these people were brought into Germany. Remember all the boats that came into Germany?
Of course.
And people are pissed off. So it is not that X had an account doing this, Pat. It was the amount of viewership the account is getting. And so the block is coming back and saying, Elon Musk, I'm fining you. Why? We don't have American-style free speech. Stop enabling it. That's not what they're saying, but that is what they're doing.
Vinny.
Wow. I just think it's like the way that great breakdown, Tom, because I figured, I was like, wait, is that what's going on? So does he have to pay, can he fight it? Or it's just like a done deal that he has to pay it? Will he be able to fight this? Because Tom, he can't really just shut it down for everybody in the UK, but this goes into everything that we talked about, Pat, with all the grooming gangs and everything. They don't want people to hear the truth. And that's why him buying X, I think, was one of the biggest, most monumental things where he lost money just to give us free speech, just to give us the public square. So that is really, really messed up, and I'm shocked to see. Not shocked. I'm interested
Rob,
to
do
see
you have
if
a clip on this? I think you do have a clip on this.
I have this is the European Union announcing the
Oh,
fine.
please play this. Let's see what he even said, how his voice sounds like. Go ahead, Rob.
Today, the Commission has issued a fine of €120 million to X for breaching the Digital Services Act. This is the first ever fine under the DSA. X has indeed breached its transparency obligation under the DSA. This includes X's blue check mark. It deceives users. Anyone can pay to obtain the verified status, and X does not meaningfully verify who is behind it. It also includes X advertising repository, which does not work properly, and X doesn't provide effective data access for researchers. Failure to comply with the non-compliance decision may lead to periodic penalty payments on top of today's fine. At the same time, we have adopted today and accepted TikTok's commitments to make its own advertising repository work. What does this show? Our objective is not a fine. If you engage constructively with the Commission, we settle cases. If you do not, we take action.
Wow. Okay, so who's going to win this one, Tom?
By the way, TikTok is China. China's like, oh, you don't want people talking about this or that? No problem. I got the software right here. Turn this button. Okay, you're all set. And you want researchers to know exactly who it is? Okay, great. So basically, I'm a German. I go over there. I set up an account. I get a lot of followers. I pay $8 a month for my blue check. They're upset because it means, in their eyes, it's deceiving core people who think the blue check means that Tom is a validated guy. So you see where this is going, Pat? Hey, stop doing stuff that'll cause common people to start following sensible voices. You're pissing us off. Wow. That's what's going on.
Wow.
So to me, did you see the article when Elon Musk says we need to return to national sovereignty? To me, the argument here is this. There's this clear globalist agenda and nationalist agenda. So like the word nationalist gets a very bad rap. Oh, you're a nationalist. You're a white nationalist. No, in essence, I'm a nationalist. I love America. Everywhere I go, I wear an American pin. I love my nation. To me, America is the #1 place in the world, bar none. I love my nation. There's nothing wrong with being a nationalist. The problem with nationalists it's like, oh, if I don't like you, I'm going to kick you out of the country. So this globalist agenda, what is Brussels anyway? The home to the EU? Are they elected? Like, who are these people? This globalist agenda. It's almost like this, I don't want to upset anybody, like this kind of like weird European gay mafia.
They all gave up sovereignty control. It's a great question. They all gave up sovereignty control to create the EU Commission. And they put that woman, Ursula von der Leyen, I just butchered her name. Yeah, in charge on the economic side. And they have these courts and these commissions where they've all essentially given up their Ursula von der Leyen. They've all basically, Adam, given up their sovereignty on this, or this. And now they've created the DSA, the Digital Services Act. So now you give up sovereignty when it comes to online, and they can do it. But to your point, that's what happened. They all gave up sovereignty, and now they got these Mickey Mouse laws running the show, not their own governments.
And then with mass migration, you have all these, you've imported the third world into your countries, and your country is no longer your country anymore. I would love to see some stats on Brussels of what, I think I saw some stats about percentage of children born in Brussels. I think, in London, the most common name is Mohammed.
Yeah, of course.
But it doesn't just stop at London. I feel like it's like, wasn't all over
it's
Europe.
The world. It's the #1 popular name for males. It's Muhammad.
In Europe. Think about that for a second. Can we validate that?
In all of Europe?
It's not Hans.
No, of course not. It's not Franz.
It's not Hans and Franz. They're here to pump you up.
The older people are going to get that.
Anyways, look, finish your thought?
No, I'm just, at some point, Europe's going to have to get some balls and just reclaim who you are. And not be ashamed of it.
I think
you're European.
I think certain countries will and may get leaders that will, but then the Brexit concept, you remember what happened with the Brexit issue?
Of course.
And then when they did, they're on an island on their own. They're dealing with their own issues. This is a great meme right here. Free speech has not been banned in the UK, and we will arrest anyone who says it has. Right?
Perfect.
This meme was tweeted by Elon 3 days ago, and I thought it was an amazing meme that kind of depicts what's going on in that entire area.
And did you see this past weekend, all these tree lighting ceremonies and stuff? And I just sent it to Rob. This is Brussels. That guy was from Brussels, right? Look at all the stuff that's happening. This is outside of churches and stuff. In Brussels, in Milan, in Europe. I sent you another one, Rob. They invaded the Christian markets in Mons, Germany, and they're screaming Allahu Akbar and all that stuff. And no, of course, but here's the thing. That's why they don't want you on X, because they don't want you showing how horribly they failed. And look at this. This is outside of a church. These are outside of churches, guys. And then when people try to play this whole, no, it's not, you guys are crazy. It's not going to happen in our generation, but
who's people, Vinny?
What?
When you say people,
Well,
which
I'm saying
people?
let me
Who's downplaying it?
Okay, okay. For instance,
Be
people like
specific.
Piers Morgan.
Okay.
People like Keir Starmer. People like even people here. You have no idea how many back and forths I have. And mind you, this is an interesting fact that I have to put out because I, like all of you guys know, how many times have we gone with debates, especially when Israel was up. I'm critical of governments. I'm critical of Israel on actions. I'm critical of Muslims. I talk about this. I talk about Somalia. Guess what? My DMs and everything. I'll have Jewish people that want to debate. I'll have Jewish people that are coming at me on my neck, paying me to go back and forth, and it's deep, and we go at it, okay? Guess who's the only ones that are threatening my life? That are like, I will kill you, I'll cut your effing head off.
Scientologists.
Nope.
Mormons.
Nope.
Buddhists?
Christians.
Nope. Not
Jews.
one. Not one. Not
Jews.
one. Not one.
Okay, I'm going to roll shot in the dark.
Muslim community
Islamists?
is the only one that I have to report to the FBI because they're saying that they want to kill me because there's no dialogue. And I want to
You reported to the FBI?
I 100% tag them and I send it to them. Email them.
You can
and I say,
tag
"Here's
the
guy."
FBI.
Yeah, you can.
in a
But
Twitter
ready
post,
for
yes.
this? And the warning, like, and I tell people, Pat, and I'm not apologizing. We say it. People are like, you're Islamophobic. You hate Muslims. No. This is an Islam thing. And I'm telling you right now, and I've said this the last podcast, when Muslims gain full state power, okay, the repeated historic patterns undeniable. Ready for this? In Armenia, from 1894 to 1923, 1.5 million Christians eliminated, okay? Assyrian genocide, 1914 to 1923, 300,000 Assyrian Christians massacred. Greek genocide, 1913 to 1922, 1 million Christians killed or expelled. Bangladesh, 1971, 1 year, 3 million Hindus slaughtered. Sudan, 1983 to 2005, 2 million Christians exterminated under official jihad. And Nigeria, from 2009 to today, 125,000 Christians butchered in a silent genocide. Every single time Islam achieved total political and military dominance over non-Muslims, the result was the same. So we might not see it in our lifetime, but I'm telling y'all, it's slowly, look at the Somalia, look at all the mosques and all the churches that they're buying. Everybody right now is like, nah.
I think it's
Hey,
gonna,
Vinny.
I think it's going to
No,
get
no.
nasty in the
Can I do
States,
this
Vinny.
something for you? You ready?
What? What? No, it's a.
Thank you for waking up, buddy. I've been out in this vibe for years.
No, Adam.
Just hear me out.
But I'm not woken up. I've
of course
known
you
this.
have, but now you're saying it out loud. That's the toughest part.
Because I'll show.
Because you're getting the death threats.
No, but the death threats were happening a little bit recently, but now
it's getting
crazy that you want
Hey,
to
buddy,
kill me.
welcome to my world, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Word, talk, number, scream, and history repeats itself. Look at those chapters you
I'm
went
just
through.
telling you, Tom, my
Horrifying.
concern is it's just getting started.
That's what.
Oh,
But,
it is. I
but here,
Vinny.
but we're, I
It
love,
is.
you know, I love you for saying that, Patrick. We're not going to
Guys,
see
it's
it.
called the Crusades.
I'm
It
telling
happened
you,
already.
and I'm telling
multiple
you,
times.
I'm telling you the craziest thing I'm telling you right now. The craziest thing I'm telling you right now. Gangs are going to make a comeback the next two decades.
Oh yeah.
And you know what you're going to do?
Side with
You're
the
going to
gangs.
be siding with gangs when they make
Our
a comeback.
gangs.
Of course,
Yeah.
Do you know
vigilante
why?
justice.
Because those guys are willing to do anything and everything to protect. Because they have very little to lose. And they have pride. I know certain people, like when you sit and talk to certain, you know, whether it's the Italian mafia or whatever else, Rob, you put on the jacket. I don't want to put on the jacket. If you can let them know to turn it on because I'm freezing my ass off as well. No, I just saw what I'm like, my hands are cold. No, hang on. Let me finish my thought. So what I'm saying here is the following. The stories of back in the days when they interviewed New York, and there's two arguments when the mob was there. When the mob was there, guess what kids couldn't do, Tom? When the mob was there. They couldn't just act dumb and stupid. Because there were some mobsters, you know what they would do? What are you doing, Johnny? Go home right now. You don't need to be in the streets. Go home. Get out of here, okay? And then if other people came in the community to try to disrupt, you couldn't do that in the Italian community. You couldn't do that in the Irish community.
Nope.
You couldn't do that in certain one of these. Now, don't get me wrong. Take aside all the crime and all the other stuff that they had going on. Of course, we don't support any of that stuff. But if you're going to come and you're going to try to destroy the greatest country in the world, and all the other people can't do anything because they know they have a lot to lose, you know what's the biggest protection of these people in Somalians and Minnesota and Dearborn? You know what protects them the most? Do you know what is the biggest protector of these guys? You know why they can do what they do?
Is it
do you know why?
Tolerant Christians?
No, it's the people that have a lot to lose are not willing to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that one more time. What is their biggest insurance policy is that people who have a lot to lose won't do anything. Why? You have kids. Why is that when you know the story you always hear about is CIA agents would recruit what type of people? Who would CIA recruit?
Troubled, destitute young men. 15-year-old troubled, destitute men.
Why, Tom?
Because they have no purpose, and they give them purpose. They give them a hope, but it's a hope in the most negative of things, but it fills an open gap in them.
Who is a terrible agent to recruit?
Says a kid with a strong father.
A kid with a strong father.
Well-informed.
And you know what's even worse? If you're married with kids and people to lose. Because you're not willing to do everything it takes. And this is pre-60 CIA. Today's 60 CIA is a little bit more woke. Pre-60 CIA, which we had, Rob, if you remember Bustamante when he was talking about pre-60 CIA, what it was like, that certain budget, that's a different story. So to me, what protects these guys, they know you guys got a lot to lose. I ain't got nothing to lose. You know your religion, to you guys putting yourself on the line, to you, God doesn't condone that. To us, if I do it for the right cause, there's some special things waiting for me in the afterlife. That mindset is it. And by the way, me and Kareem were having a conversation. We went to the game together. It was me, Mario, him, and the kids. And we went to the game. We watched Messi have 2 incredible assists. Jeez. And they won 3-1. That game could have been a tie game going into penalties. It could have been it was actually a very good game. But I asked him a question. We're having a conversation. I said, so, you know what video I want to make? What's that? I want to make a video of who are the most successful Muslim billionaires in the world that are non-oil money.
Yes, exactly.
Non-oil money. And then I want to see if it's Sunni or Shia, okay? And then I want to know the ones that are the Sunnis who became billionaires, who create a lot of jobs, are they still fully practicing, or they've kind of stepped away and they're just kind of like, look, out of respect for my parents, I'm still a Sunni Muslim, but I'm not really practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like, it is what I am. I'll never be a Christian because I don't want to offend my mom and dad, but, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Okay, great. Why am I doing that? Because what is the way, define how we contribute to society. How do you define when a man and a woman have contributed to society? Give me 10 different ways you and I can contribute to society. For instance, we moved to Singapore. We moved to Brazil. We moved to pick a country. We moved to Panama.
Okay.
How do you measure, if we run a country, we want to measure what it is that somebody contributes to society. Tell me 10 different ways somebody contributes to society.
Get a job.
Create a community.
Get a job. Pay the taxes.
Family values.
Follow the law.
So let's kind of go through it. Okay, so you get a job.
Get a job.
You pay taxes. Okay.
Okay. You contribute to society.
You create jobs.
You could give back.
You
you start a business.
Create jobs.
You could become an entrepreneur.
So start
Community
a business.
involvement, philanthropy.
Which means when you start a job, what are you creating? Start a business. What are you creating?
Opportunity, other jobs.
You're
other
creating
people,
jobs.
Yes.
What other way do you create to give back to society?
Well, your kids, you judge them by the quality of your kids and the kids that are around your
children
kids.
that contribute.
So what happens in those schools? What happens in your neighborhood? It's easy to observe and measure. What a great neighborhood.
Donate your time, volunteer,
safer communities.
philanthropy.
Yep. Can we say safer communities?
Charity, philanthropy.
Volunteer.
Yep.
What else?
Coach, mentor.
Okay.
Learn the language. Assimilate.
Learn the language.
You have to learn.
You are contributing to society.
I have to learn.
What else?
We're there.
It's weird, but no rap sheet. No rap sheet.
Criminal records.
No rap sheet, like criminal.
Yeah.
Patriotic.
You're not doing things wrong. You're in their country doing things right.
Patriotism. Okay, so here's what I got. By the way, Rob, can you look at the comment section to see what other people are saying that maybe we didn't mention? Maybe there's some other ones that we can add to this as well. So get a job to contribute to society.
Must.
Pay taxes. Maybe you start a business, you create jobs, you raise good kids that make the world a safer place, okay? Safer communities, volunteer, okay? You coach, you mentor, you give back, you speak the language, no rap sheet, you're a patriot, you're proud of being. Is there anything else I missed, Rob?
Philanthropy.
Okay, let's put donate. Yeah. Okay, Tom, do you see anything else on the chat? Rob, do you see anything else?
No, there's a couple of faith-based things that you establish your faith within their culture.
Okay. So faith-based.
Belief in a higher power.
Game. So check this out. On a scorecard, what if we ran data to show where do Muslims rank on this? Let's do it. Maybe they crush it. Let's do it. Let's run this to see Hispanics. If we run Hispanics and say, where do Mexicans rank on this versus Hondurans versus, Cubans versus Venezuelans versus Salvadorians. Let's measure which one, where they rank. Let's measure, Muslims from Pakistan versus, Iran versus Afghanistan versus Saudi, right? Where they measure. Let's measure Asians. Okay, where are Asians with crime?
We could measure the Vietnamese guy that we just saw. We could give him a little report card.
Let's measure Japanese. Why doesn't the White House just pull up the damn data and then just show it to us? Then put Indians on there, put Punjabi on there, put Scientologists on there, put Jehovah's on there, put 7 Day on there, put everybody on there, put Jews on there. What will we find? What data will show? And then you look at this and you're like, so if based on this report card, you measure who makes it better, who will be at the top and who will be at the bottom?
Somalians will not be at the top.
I was just going to say, Minneapolis on that list, show me where would they be on that list?
Show me Somalia.
Not
on the list.
But the point to me is what has happened the last 3 years after October 7th, guys. 5 years ago was COVID. They changed the game. 5 years ago, COVID. Then it was Ukraine 3-4 years ago. Whatever COVID, Ukraine was, I think, 4 years ago. But what broke the back was October 7th when Hamas attacked Israel, and then it was everything on the other way around on what happened there, right? And then people lost it. They didn't know what to say. They didn't know how to handle it. Listen, I'm okay if Israel's the bad guy, if Armenians are the bad guy, if Assyrians, I'm Armenian Assyrian, put it up there. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's Christians are the bad guy, that whenever community they go to, they're horrible. Maybe it's Muslims, maybe it's Jews, maybe it's Scientologists, but give me the data. You can always find out the data. Walmart, when they would expand in new territories, you know what it was always, what cities they would choose? 10 miles outside of a metropolitan city. They would never go to a metropolitan city.
Weird.
That was Walmart's strategy. 10 miles out. Why? Because
rent?
They wanted to be out. Real estate is cheaper, and it's access to people that don't want to go to the city. Mm-hmm. You save the 20, 30-minute drive. So their strategy was what? 10 miles outside of it. Yeah. Why? Because you think it was just a guessing game, or you think it was a data-based decision?
Data.
Give me the data, White House. Give me the data. Hire me, I'll do this. Give me the data. We'll put a team of 20 people. I'll fund it myself. Give me the data. I'd love to go in there and just pull up the flip, and we have the data. Bring some of the best analysts and put the report together, and then put it out there and say, maybe we were wrong. Maybe the greatest entrepreneurs and job creators are,
maybe
Muslims.
Sharia law is the way to go.
Maybe it is.
Maybe that's what's up.
As much as you're
white liberal women,
I'm actually being straight up honest.
Yeah,
just put it up there.
Well, they say that numbers don't lie. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, so
you're saying, show me the data.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the part where I think America's going to get nasty. Mm-hmm. I think America's going to get nasty because of this issue. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to get very, very, very nasty. So let me go to the story here. Confidential grooming gang files exposed after legal war as horrifying details emerge. Vinny, what is the story about?
Okay, so do you guys remember all the Pakistani rape gangs in the
aging,
UK
buddy.
That they were? Yeah, Adam's bladder's going by.
Adam is aging.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So, Pat, do you remember? Yeah, Robbie, perfect. You're right, because I'm going to go through all three of them.
Have you noticed? This is now every podcast.
This is
He can't go more than 90 minutes.
He's almost
He's
almost there.
46,
He's 45, 46. It's over.
We're about to have a Depend sponsorship.
That's what I'm wearing right now. I've peed twice already. Anyway, so you guys remember the Pakistani, the grooming rape gangs. I don't want to make light of the situation because it's actually really, really bad, Pat. And some of the stuff I won't even say. But some of the sentencing remarks came out. They were released. And it's horrible. All right. One of the judges gave this guy the shortest sentence because he said he had good standings in the community and he helped out at local mosques. Mind you, this is for raping little girls. I'm sorry that I had to say it. So, Rob, yeah, put up click on the actual part. Robbie, thank you, sir. You're positive, this is the sentencing. Your positive good character is a mitigating factor that I have factored in when considering the range of sentencing, a sentence available with regard to the culpability. Okay, then it goes down, Robbie. Look over here on the third one. The custodial sentences I have passed on this incident are the shortest necessary, commensurate with the seriousness of the offense. And it goes into that. Now go to the next one, Robbie. This is one of the judges. This is one of the girls that was tortured and abused by the Rotherham grooming gangs, was abused from 12 to 14. The judge decided to sentence the abuser on the basis that she was 13 purely as to give him a lesser punishment. And I'll read this one, Robbie. Can you click on that, brother? In my judgment, this is the judge. In my judgment, having heard the trial and heard all the witnesses, I take the view that she was about 13 at the time of these offenses took place. There is some ambiguity over exactly how old she was. On the widest interpretation of the evidence, it could fall somewhere between 12 and 14. In my judgment. However, I shall sentence you on the basis she was 13, because that's the most sentencing regime that would be perhaps most extreme. If I sentence you on the basis that she was older, some of you would be adults, and again, that would have an effect on the sentence, and therefore I fixed 13 on the basis of the evidence, but also bearing in mind those factors to ensure a just result. They're making her older not to give them a bigger crime. And this is the last one, guys, and just earmuffs. If you have children out there, this is the type of stuff that these disgusting...
And this is all UK.
All UK,
okay.
And nothing is wrong, nothing to see here. She started taking heroin and became addicted over time. This is the judge talking to one of the guys. On more than one occasion, she was taken to a house in Masborough by you, Arshid Hussein. She was told that she had to perform sexual acts with you, Banaras Hussein, with others. She was made to perform oral sex upon you, Banaras Hussein, at times at Clifton Park, where you, Arshid Hussein, were present. And one of the occasions, Banaras Hussein demanded that she give you oral sex, and that she refused to. She'd be knocked to the ground, where her nose stopped bleeding, and you were told her to do so. She did what she was told, and then you, Arshid, one of the dragged her on the floor to the boot of the car and took her to London. And you told that you owed people in the house. He owed them money, so she had to have sex with two of them. Mind you, how old is this girl? She became pregnant.
By the way,
at the bottom.
I believe boot means trunk.
The trunk of the car. I'm sorry.
And if that means that she was stuck in the trunk of a car?
She was stuck in the trunk. He would force her to go have sex with all these men because they owed him money. And then she became pregnant when she was 14, had a termination throughout these years in the care system. Before she turned 16, she had to have sex with different Asian men, which are Pakistani, on a daily basis. They were older. Notice how they put Asian, even though they're Pakistani. 13, sometimes 3 a day. You, Arshid Hussein, would put pressure on her to do so. By the way,
who's saying this?
This is the judge talking to the guy, all the defendants, on what they did, how they did it. Pat, if you go on, and Robbie, if you go down to that, go back, exit out in the lower, go lower. You guys could go right there on that open justice, explore. If you want to be disgusted, this is just what I could read on the podcast. You want to go down here, scroll a little bit down, Robbie? Yeah, right there. The transcripts, openjustice.org. It's disgusting what they did. And never forget that Keir Starmer and all these people were hiding it. And they were saying nothing is nothing to see here because they didn't want to look bad, Patrick, because it was all the Muslims rape gangs doing it. And now you have this EU whatever trying to find $140 million because they don't want people to be able to read and see this. This is about, we're talking about raping girls. This is why Tommy Robinson is losing his mind.
I was just going to say,
Adam,
isn't this just on par with exactly what Tommy Robinson talks about?
But he's
on
a racist, Islamophobic.
Basis, yeah.
So for all the people out there that are going to talk crap, how dare you say like, oh no, you're saying it's just a certain group. No, it's the Muslim rape gangs that were doing it, and they covered it up because they didn't want to look bad because they let all these people in.
Question for you: how many times have you been on Piers Morgan's show?
15 times.
15 times.
Maybe more, maybe a little bit.
Okay, so let's call it 20 times. I've seen you at least. Okay, let's call it 20 times. How many times has this topic come up?
The week that it happened, I think once or twice, but even. I don't know if Piers apologized for it, but you should have seen because there's always the opposite side. He'll put two people that are against it and shocked that nobody talked about it. But then you have the other guys saying, no, you guys are racist because you're
let's just go rapid fire. I don't want to take a lot of time. Let's just go over the top 3 to 5 topics you've discussed on Piers Morgan. What's been number one?
Number one, it had to be something with Trump and immigration and
okay,
all that
so number one, Trump, domestic politics.
Yes.
Go ahead. What's number 2?
Number 2, anything topical, like we talked about Diddy and stuff like that, but no, it's mainly political actions, Trump,
Israel?
stuff like
Vaccine evidence
Israel,
in the US.
Israel, we went
Israel?
Yep.
So, and he's based where?
He's in London.
So he's in London. How often do you talk about what's going on in the UK, in London with
Not me, not
Tommy
a lo-
Robinson
not-
type situations?
Not a lot. I mean, you know where he stands with Tommy Robinson, but it does kind of shock me that he wouldn't be that more involved and that more
Bingo.
understand. But
Okay, that's
Adam,
my question.
But he lives
and I
there.
think he's a nice guy.
I know, I like the guy, but he lives
why
there.
isn't this a bigger concern
Adam,
of his? He has a
it's-
massive
it's-
platform.
it's
Why aren't they
weird.
debating this?
Well, because if you see,
It's in your country.
If you see Pierce's track record, if you try to talk or you try to bring it up, it's almost as if he always goes, "Well, that's Islamophobic and you hate Muslims." And remember when Tommy Robinson brought the Quran and he goes, "There's verses in here that says to kill non-believers." He goes, "Put that book away. How dare you?" And it's weird. It's almost like the Tucker. All of a sudden, you're in Qatar and you're like, "I'm gonna buy a house here because I'm an American and I'm free to buy a house." Wait. What?
So
what are you talking
I
about?
don't think that.
So,
do you think that? Are you saying that Pierce may be compromised?
I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because he's scared because he lives there and they'll find out where you live like that. But it just boggles my mind why you wouldn't say. By the way, and let's reverse. How many times have we talked about kids? These are little girls, 11, 12, 9, 10, getting raped by these freaking guys, and nobody said anything. They covered
is
it
there
up.
a way to find how much this has spiked in the last decade or two since the open borders?
Oh, there?
Yeah.
the numbers
in
of
the EU.
Adam, the numbers. I just had it, but I
Like, was
clicked
this
off it.
going on 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Where there's these
It's been
grooming
going
gangs?
on, but it's not at the numbers that it's happened in the last decade.
So in the last 10
It's
years, it's
increased
skyrocketed.
in the last
yes?
4 decades,
It's
every
gotten worse.
decade.
And
yes.
what's the correlation to why it's skyrocketed?
Adam,
More people that do this.
Yeah. And who are these types of people?
New residents coming from other places.
Well, Adam, but here's the thing: when
What
you
places?
listen, when your culture, hear me out.
I'm not being cute.
The
It's
gr-
immigration. It's outside immigration
what
coming
countries?
in,
I mean,
and
is
they're
there a track
a
record?
bunch of them, all
Well,
over
let's
the
name
it's
names, guys.
Adam,
If
think
we're
about
identifying
this.
the problem, let's
We've
find
done
out
this.
who's doing
Adam,
it.
We've done this.
We've done this, but
We've
think about
spoken
this.
this.
In that community,
It's Pakistan. It's
Pakistan.
Pakistan. It's Afghanistan. We've done this.
And
We've
what-
So
and
isn't it?
spoken about
So
this.
if I'm Pakistani and if I'm Afghani or whoever this is, and you're allowed to free reign in London or in Europe, why would you stop? It's kind of like, they say, like, if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat it. But newsflash, history is happening right now before our eyes. You talk about case examples, case example, case example, case example, case example, and then they don't want to connect the dots. And even when you try to say something about it, Keir Starmer goes,
But you have to ask
you don't
yourself
have freedom of
why.
speech?
Ask yourself why, Adam. Because you
No, but
already
then
let
the
them all in.
Yeah, the argument then becomes where they'll say, well, it's because of war on terror. If you wouldn't have done this, this would have never happened. Look what you did to Afghanistan. They're angry, and this is their way. Wait a minute. This was happening prior to that. This was happening 60 years ago in their own countries.
Mm-hmm.
This was happening 100 years ago. Don't act like this is just because of Afghanistan and blame it all on
Honor
the US.
killings are not
no,
new.
It's not a.
They're new to Europe.
It's a new thing that they're talking about to put it all on U.S. And that's the naive part. You have to realize the same way when you're naively a fan of a shitty team.
The Jets.
No, but hear me out.
Yes. Good
Have
point.
you ever been a naive fan of a shitty team?
Yep.
Have you? And then you're like, but no, it's this year. 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 How many people do you know that for 50 years have been fan of a shitty team that has never won?
I went through a decade like that after they
Tom, you're not part of that.
No, the Raiders. No.
Oh, Raiders.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
Raider Nation. We get our butt kicked by Tampa Bay
Yeah.
in like 2002, and we haven't even seen the light of 500 since.
Yeah. But the point is, think about how we are capable of being naively rooting for a shitty team. You don't think people can naively root for bad ideas? Of course. And they're falling for that. And by the way, do you think there are more naive people or less naive people in the world?
More naive.
And
ton of idiots in the
do you think more naive people means it's a better argument?
No, at all.
It's who are you winning over? So if you want to get out there and win the naive people over, go at it. If you want to get some people to kind of have their eyes open up and say, that's a freaking good point, then also be open to that idea. That's when your calibration goes up. Adam, you want to show something?
No, I just want to show something. This is the issue with tribalism. When you're like, dude, this is part of my team, and I'm going to defend it till I die.
What is this?
Here's this kid leaving a Jets game. The Jets are the worst. Watch this interview.
It's actually hilarious.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not going to ever... I'm always a Jets fan, but, like... I hate this team.
Okay, so imagine that's not your team. Imagine that's your culture. Imagine that's your religion. Imagine that's your country.
And
you're like, I hate everything.
His dad kept
but that's my
walking.
team,
You didn't
bro.
hear him say
But what
it.
I'm trying to tell you is, this
Yes.
is what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is, once you're part of the naive community and somebody wins over your brain and your loyalty to that naivete, they can own you for 50 years. Trust me, feminism ruined a lot of women's lives, and 40 years later, they realized they were wrong. All these people that are defending Planned Parenthood, who are Black Lives Matter, they don't realize the founder of Planned Parenthood started Planned Parenthood to get rid of black people.
And they'll never know.
So,
They'll never.
No, but the point is, like, that's the power of naivete.
Exactly.
That you got to sit there and just, you listen to it and you're like, you're really going to say this? Yeah. Well, it's not like anyone's going to change your mind right now, but go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us why you're going to make this incredible point that you're going to make
And
us.
Pat, can I really fast, Pat? Because Adam mentioned the honor killings.
Yeah.
Can I mention
Yeah,
that girl
go
just
ahead.
really fast?
Yeah.
So in the Netherlands, guys, an 18-year-old girl named Rian Al Najjar went missing on May 22nd. 6 days later, they found her in a lake with her hands and feet tied. Prosecutors say her father, ordered her killing, and her brothers carried it out because she refused to wear a hijab, and she had a boyfriend, and to live under their rules. Okay, she hated wearing the hijab.
She was 18 years old.
Adam,
In
the father
Amsterdam.
gave the hit orders.
This is where?
This is in the Netherlands, Patrick. Look how beautiful this
For
girl was. God
quote-unquote
rest her soul.
Western
What did she do?
behavior.
She didn't want to wear a hijab. She had a boyfriend. She wanted to live the American life. So
No,
instead
not
of
American life. The
the Western,
Amsterdam.
So the
Western values.
So, and
What
I hate
did they do to her?
Ryan. I mean,
Bro, they
Patrick Macleta. They
completely-
bound her, taped her, gagged her, and drowned her. Okay, and then DNA. God rest her soul. I'm so happy she fought back. In her nails, they found DNA from her brothers. That means she was fighting. Okay, and she had previously been under police protection. I wonder from who? Probably her freaking father, but was removed with no explanation. So the brothers are facing 25 years. Apparently, the father, they're reporting his names, Pat, as Mohammed Al Najir or Khalid Al Najir, fled to Syria. So he's gone. So, and the sons are
The
listed
son is facing up to 20 years in prison.
25 years, actually.
It says 20 years.
Oh,
with the
Lakatama,
brothers,
yeah.
Okay, so 25 years. Okay. And then the father escaped.
He fled to Syria. But think about
The
Adam.
brothers killed the sister.
The brothers.
On the order of the
order
father, the father said, "Your sister
this a true story, Raz?
Yes. The father said,
This was in the Times
under
of India,
our
I believe.
laws, here it goes, Pat. Step one. The father says, under
What
our
the
laws, she's bringing the family shame by having a Western boyfriend and refusing to win the hijab. Okay.
In Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So he gathers the
She's
two
not in
sons,
Tehran.
and he said, for the family, you, my two sons, must go kill your sister because of the shame she brought on the family. That's what came out in the court, Pat. And then he ordered it. The sons got caught, and he fled to Syria.
Oh my goodness! Like I'm trying. It is so like I'm trying to verify if this is true. Is that the ABC News at the top, Rob?
No, I-24 News.
I want to know if this is true. Yes, there is a recent credible story match on what you described. The victim is a young woman named Ryan Al Najjar, 18-year-old. Prosecutors allege she was murdered by her father and two brothers because they believed her Western lifestyle brought shame to the family. According to an investigation, her brothers picked her up from a house in Rotherham. Then, together with their father, drove her into a remote location.
Jeez.
There, they tied up, bound with tape, and drowned her in a swamp lake. Her body was found May 28, 2024.
Oh, think about that. Think about this. She wants to live her life. So you order your sons to murder her.
The word is she was assimilating slowly.
Oh, weird.
Do I have to wear my hijab? Could I have this boyfriend? She's slowly assimilating in the country where she lives.
Yeah.
Around all people that live in that country.
All right.
So, yeah. Anyway,
There you go.
You guys, you have two daughters. You have four kids. I have a sister. You have a sister.
Nieces, nephews, sisters.
What kind of mindset do you have to be in to say, yeah, I'm going to murder my daughter and employ my two sons to carry out the hit?
And then you leave.
Because,
and then you leave.
Give me some examples of what this would even be in your mind.
Crazy.
Because she's not wearing a hijab? Because she has a boyfriend?
It's over.
To murder your daughter, bro?
Yep.
What are we even talking about here? Yep. It's like you're putting her in detention or timeout.
Nope.
Maybe Tom, like what kind of mindset is this?
Let me
Is
get
this
to
a
the
sickness?
next story. Let me get to the next story here.
So crazy.
Heartbreaking to even read that. It's difficult to read it.
Yep.
Netflix Warner Brothers deal has a wild card. How Paramount could still win, okay? And some are even calling this potentially a monopoly that's getting in the way. So let me kind of read some of this stuff, and then, Tom, I'm going to turn it over to you. Warner Brothers Discovery is selling its film and TV production business, plus HBO and HBO Max, to Netflix for $83 billion, including that Netflix is paying billions for Warner Brothers film and streaming business, but it's the value of the companies left out cable that could end up being a crucial issue in the merger alone. And the deal reached Friday. Warner Brothers Discovery selling its film and TV production business, plus HBO Max, for $82 billion. The Netflix is paying $27.75 a share to Warner Brothers, comprised of 23.25 share in cash, 4.5 in stock. In Netflix, the cable networks, including TNT, TBS, CNN, and Discovery, aren't included in the deal and are set to be spun off in a separate company called Discovery Global by the third quarter of next year. Paramount has been willing to pay $30 a share for the entire business, including the cable channels. Wall Street Journal has reported if Paramount mounts a competing bid, it would argue its offer is more than Netflix. The value of Discovery Global is the wild card. Tom, what is going on over here?
Okay. Two folks wanted to buy, actually more than two folks wanted to buy Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yes.
But only two emerged as having the economic capability to do so.
Okay.
One is Netflix.
Yep.
And the other is the Ellisons at Paramount. So the Ellisons, Paramount made a very compelling offer, but they were going to leave Discovery Global. What Discovery Global is a new company going to be spun out on the stock market that contains TNT, CNN, and Discovery. Now, under the Ellison's analysis, the people are out there, they're saying, hey, cable is a declining business. You figure out what you're going to do with that, Pat. I will buy the library. So that's what the Ellisons wanted. Netflix comes up and they say, no, we'll buy the whole thing. And Netflix, Ted Sarandos, went and met with Trump. And he said, we hit it off. We talked about what we wanted to do. So Netflix tried to get ahead of the deal by meeting with Trump and talking about it. Because remember, Netflix, Reid Hoffman put two CEOs in place, or co-CEOs, Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters. And Ted Sarandos was the one that went and talked to Trump. This is what we want to do, this is how we want to do it, all like this. And so he left thinking, yeah, you know what? I don't think the president's going to be against this. And what they don't want is the Federal Trade Commission to come out and say, wait a minute, this could create a monopoly. Meanwhile, Discovery is like, wait a minute, at the last minute you're taking the Netflix deal? Our deal, we believe, is better. And Trump has said out loud, hey, I think Warner Brothers Discovery, Zaslav, the CEO, I think you should take the highest bidder. So Trump's kind of weighing in, but in a gentle way, Pat, just saying, hey, no favoritism here. You should take the best bid. You should take the highest bidder. And so now, over the weekend, what Netflix did, check this out, Pat. Here comes the hook. They said, hey, Patrick, I want to buy all of Warner Brothers Discovery, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put a breakup fee. I'm going to transfer into an escrow account a breakup fee. How does $5.8 billion sound?
I'm good.
And if we don't do the deal, or it gets stalled and doesn't happen by the U.S. government, you keep the breakup fee, because that's the rule of the breakup fee.
Who said that?
Netflix. And so the Ellisons are like, wait a minute, that's a pretty ridiculous breakup fee. And so it's the deal right now is going back and forth. And now all the analysts are backing up and going, is everybody just getting so anxious to win this last hand of poker at midnight that nobody's going to win? There's $59 billion of debt that's going to be taken on this thing. And so Netflix, a lot of people are saying, why would you take TNT, CNN, and Discovery 2 that are declining channels? You've got the statistics, Netflix. Why are you doing that? When, Zaslav said, well, we're just going to spin them out in Discovery Global and put it on the stock market. That's how we're going to take care of it. But it's declining. And as a matter of fact, they had a valuation of it that was that had dropped $400 million just over the course of this year to date, 11 months of this year, that the cable net's value had dropped $400 million. We know why. In TNT, what did they not renew? The NBA. Why? They couldn't afford it. Because the NBA was going like this, and all the streamers like Amazon and others had the money to do it. YouTube had the money. YouTube bought NFL Sunday Ticket out from under DirecTV. Well, not out from under. They bought it next because DirecTV couldn't do it anymore. AT&T couldn't do it. So what's going on here? Netflix is now in possession of an exclusive period to negotiate it, but now they got to go work at the White House. And there are people saying Sarandos may have thought that he had Trump, but over the weekend, Trump was like, well, there may be something to say about this, or maybe something to look at here. And so people are saying, do you think that's a sign that the Ellisons called them and said, hey, I appreciate you meeting with Sarandos and Netflix on this. You're the president. You got to meet with everybody. But dude, we think we've got the better bid. So right now, Netflix.
You know what just happened 28 minutes ago? Rob, did you see what happened 28 minutes ago? 27 minutes ago, Paramount makes a $108 billion hostile takeover bid. Paramount makes a $108 billion all-cash offer for Warner Brothers Discovery escalating buyout fight with Netflix.
Does this include the cable nets? Can we
go a little bit lower, Rob?
Is it the whole thing now?
Paramount stock rose 2% after the announcement, while Warner Brothers stock rose as much as 7%. They just made a $108.4 billion target. Time Warner Discovery, a hostile bid, came just days after Netflix agreed to a deal, largely backed by the Ellison family and potentially other investors like sovereign wealth funds. Why this is happening? Intense competition, major industry consolidation, play to compete against streaming giants like Netflix and tech players like Amazon and Apple. Paramount Skydance wants to create a larger entity to challenge Netflix's dominance. This literally just happened 27 minutes ago.
Well, there's
Great
the
timing,
next step.
Tom.
And so what did the Ellisons do moments ago? That.
So what exactly is a hostile takeover? So you can't come to terms on a negotiation, so you kind of go around the other company and go directly to shareholders and
Correct.
try to...
You announce to the public markets,
Yeah.
this letter in my hand here, I am giving to your board of directors, and I am offering this much per share. And the reason it's hostile is because the board of directors maybe don't want to receive it. But once they hold this, they now have an obligation to do what's in the best interest of who? The shareholders.
Okay, so let me read you what happened here. We just recently went through this. I won't name any banks, but Tom, you know exactly what story I'm talking about. Much smaller deal. Despite Paramount submitting 6 proposals over the course of 12 weeks, Warner Brothers never engaged meaningfully with these proposals, which we believe deliver the best outcome for Warner Brothers shareholders. Paramount has now taken its offer directly to Warner Brothers shareholders and its board of directors to ensure they have the opportunity to pursue this clearly superior alternative. Do you understand what happened right there? So we're trying to buy a company, okay? Tom and I are trying to buy a company in the last few months, okay? And we noticed the investment bankers in the middle are moving unbelievably slow. And we're like, why the hell are they moving so slow? This doesn't make any sense to me. And Tom is coming up to me saying, it's very weird because imagine if you're an investment banker, he comes in, imagine you're a realtor selling the house. He's a qualified buyer. How quickly will he get back to him?
Quick.
By the way, they're taking their time introducing you to the seller. They're taking their time. And then eventually, you know what ends up happening? They set up a separate call. Can I say this? I can say this without giving names. Yeah. They set up a separate call without the sellers on the call to tell us that, the sellers are probably not interested. Let us just kind of go through the sales process. We'll let you know in 2 weeks. What do you mean? Do the sellers know? Yeah. We're on the same page. Okay. If the sellers know, great, we'll move on. So then Tom sends an email to the sellers just saying, hey, we had a call with your investment bankers and This is what we were told. We wish you guys nothing but the best. And the seller's like, wait a minute. What do you mean? Well, they said, no. The sellers fly out to visit us last Friday night.
30 hours later.
30 hours. They fly
day
out.
And a half later.
They fly out to meet us here in the private jet. They come here. We're sitting together in our office for hours. Late at night, it's Friday night. And then we finish and they leave. We went directly to the sellers to have conversations, right?
In a professional way.
Yeah. And of course, in a professional way. What Paramount is saying here is, hey, shareholders, maybe you need to see our offer because I don't believe the management team, the leadership team of Warner Brothers is publicly telling you guys how many times we've sent offers that you're going to get paid more on.
Wow.
So, hey, he's got $1 million house he's selling, and there's $1 million offer on the table, but the realtor's not telling you about it.
Why? What the hell?
Because you just want him to sell it. You don't want that guy to buy it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what happened right there? Even though it's paying $100,000 more to the seller.
I'd be furious.
No, let's not tell you about it. You'd be furious.
Of course.
That's kind of, so what these guys did right now, the hostile takeover, they're publicly saying this is what we're doing, and they went to the board and the shareholders. And the shareholders responded. Guess what the shareholders said? Stock is up 7%. Saying, we want this.
Yeah.
We want the Ellisons to buy us out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very interesting thing that just literally broke while we're doing a podcast right now. How wild is that, Tom? What do you think it's going to end up, Tom? And two questions. Where do you think it'll end up, and what do you think it's better for the market to end up?
So I think it's going to end up with Paramount because if you look at, let's say all of us here, Adam, Vinny, let's say we're all the Federal Trade Commission, and we believe that there needs to be competition in streaming so consumers have choices, right? And we look around. We say, well, you've got Amazon Prime, Prime Video's got things, Peacock's got things, YouTube's got a library, Paramount's got a library, Netflix has got a library, and then Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, closed door session, Federal Trade Commission. Warner Brothers, the cable nets is an anchor here. They got to figure out what they do at the cable nets. So they're going to sell to somebody. So this is going to be on our desk here at the Federal Trade Commission because cable's going down. Warner Brothers Discovery's got to figure out what they do. They're going to sell the library to somebody. Yeah. What do we think? And so we come together and said, what if we leave Netflix here? We approve Paramount here. They just formed themselves and got bigger, appear to be responsible citizens, and then allow the market to have the Disney library over here with Hulu, to have Amazon in the library over here, Netflix over here, and then Paramount with Warner Bros. Discovery. Hey, that would be 4 choices for the American people.
So what you're saying is, to the question, you're saying 1, you're thinking it's going to end up with Paramount. 2, you're saying Paramount is better because it gives more competition, the consumer wins.
You want another strong player
I'm on the same page
against
with
Disney and Netflix.
I'm on the same page with you. Do you want to play this clip real quick when the president's being asked about it, Rob? Thank you.
I did. I met with Ted. I think he's fantastic. I think he's, in the history of Hollywood, there's really been almost, you could say, nothing like what he's done. You'd go back to Louis B. Mayer, maybe, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MGM. Ted has done an incredible job. I mean, he had a company that was very troubled 7 or 8 years ago, and he took it over, and he's really done a legendary job.
Should they be allowed to buy Warner Brothers?
Well, that's the question. They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers, that share goes up a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be for some economists to tell. And also, and I'll be involved in that decision too. But they have a very big market share.
Did he make any guarantees to you about the merger?
Pause it right there. I'll be involved in that.
But he gave props to a guy he knows while gently putting the hand up. We got to look at this.
He just handled it like a president.
That'd be a very large market share.
All right, let me get to the next story here. Next story I want to get to is there are a couple stories that we haven't gotten into, so I don't want to forget because I know there was a couple other stories to go to. Okay, here we go. Something happened with Tim Pool with my. Okay, let's go to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson says he plans to buy home in Doha, defense Qatar, hosting Hamas. I'm an American. I'll be wherever I want to. So, Rob, I think you have 2 clips on this, right?
Yep.
Go for it. What's this one?
This is the clip of Tucker Carlson talking about purchasing a home in Qatar.
Go for it.
Whenever we are needed to help and to support within that process,
But I believe it is solvable. It can be achieved. It's not something impossible.
So last question. I've been personally, not to make it about me, but I have been criticized as being a tool of Qatar. And I just want to say what you already know, which is I've never taken anything from your country and don't plan to. I am, however, tomorrow buying a place in Qatar. Both
Please,
because I am
pay a high check
in Doha, yeah, and I'm doing that because I like the city. I think it's beautiful, but also to make the statement that I'm an American and a free man, and I'll be wherever I want to be, which I think is important. But that does kind of leave us in a place where I have not taken any money from Qatar. I have instead given money to Qatar. And I wonder if you feel that that means I've bought you and you will now spew my propaganda.
Well, thank you. Just ask me whatever you want me to do for you, I will do it. But look, Tucker, unfortunately, as I told you, that there are a lot of players putting a lot of efforts to sabotage the relationship between Qatar and the United States and to try to demonize anyone who will come to this country. Our efforts, when we are lobbying or doing, our...
Okay, so that's the clip. Is that the clip that he's buying a house?
Yep.
And then do you have another clip that he gets questioned on it, of buying a house?
Afterwards, he does.
I'll find that.
Yeah, there's another clip apparently that he's questioned on, a question on buying a house, and I think he had to respond to it. Well, until you find that, Adam, go ahead.
So Tucker's buying a house in Qatar. He's not going on vacation. He's not renting a little VRBO. He's not an Airbnb. He's buying a house in Doha, Qatar. For what reason?
Because he's an American, Adam.
Oh, because he's American. He's
You
going
can
to
do whatever you want. I don't know what the correlation, like, that doesn't make sense. But
So you know how they say, like, you're saying the quiet part out loud? He's either completely lying or he's the most honest liar ever. I don't know which one it is. So he's been accused of taking funding from Qatar. He's like, I would never. I'm giving them my money. I'm investing in them. It's a very strange relationship. These strange bedfellows with this, what do they call the woke right these days? And Qatar. Do you know what countries are the most critical of Qatar? Funding terrorism, funding Islamism all around the world, funding the Muslim Brotherhood. Do you know what countries? Their neighbors, Saudi, the UAE, Bahrain, Egypt, not even to mention Israel. I'm so glad that Tucker just came out and said it. Now everyone can do their investigating and what's going on here.
But let me ask you.
Is it a little weird you're buying a place in Doha, Qatar?
Okay, so here's him responding to it, and then I want to ask the question. Go ahead.
I like it here a lot. Yeah, I like it. You have been. By the way, I'm an American. I can go wherever I want and speak to anyone I want to.
Yeah, no shit.
Because I'm a free man. That's the promise of my country. And some are seeking to change that and to put our population in mental bondage, and I'm not participating in that.
And when you've questioned AIPAC and you've questioned things, are you facing a consequence and a backlash that now day to day?
I have a right to say what I think. I'm an American citizen. Period. I like it here.
Do you know how I'm an American citizen, so I can go move to Doha, Qatar. What is not adding up here?
Something.
That's not. It's not like saying I'm an American citizen. I can say whatever I want in my country. I believe in freedom of speech. I can move to any state I want. I can criticize the president.
Yeah.
I love my country. I'm critical of my country.
Yeah.
You're saying I'm a proud American, so I'm moving to Doha, Qatar. Someone walk me through the logic here.
Or you know what they should have asked? Okay, Tucker, you can do whatever you want. You could buy, but here's the question: why? Why would you buy property in Qatar?
Because it's a good investment?
I mean, is this a Qatar that sent hundreds of millions of dollars to like terrorism, and the United States Treasury sanctioned them for financing Al Qaeda, for based charities and intelligence for moving money to extremist groups in Syria?
That's
wait
them.
a minute,
They were the ones
Muslim
that
Brotherhood
Hamas was living in Doha.
Wait, I'm genuinely like. By the way, you could do whatever you want to do. I'm just confused why you would buy a house in a Muslim nation as a Christian dude. I'm very like
because he's an American, Vinny.
Oh, then forget.
Because he's an American.
Yeah, he looked very. By the way, he looked flustered in that, like almost mad that they're even asking, "Why are you buying it?" Not answering the question. Why would you buy it?
The
like vacationing.
The reason, the rationale doesn't make sense to me. If he says, Listen, I love the world. I want to experience the world. I want to see what the world has to offer. I love Muslim culture. I want to live in Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. But don't say, I'm a proud American. I'm a patriot. I love Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian. So I'm moving to Doha, Qatar.
No, you know, you should have said.
It doesn't make
You should have
sense.
said this. You know why? Because I'm rich and I could buy houses and that's what I do. Say that and be blunt and honest. But what? Why
To use the American excuse as that's why you're buying.
A guy that lives in Maine just bought a. I don't know, dude. That's
okay,
weird.
so that's one clip. And then there's this other clip, Rob, of the investors. So the investors are like, we invested into, but here's a network that people need to know what the link is. You just had it a minute ago, Rob. You had it up right there. Go watch this here.
And, I'm happy to say that one of the first investments our new fund made was putting Tucker Carlson in business with his new network.
And who is this exactly?
This is Omid Malik from 1789 Capital that gave roughly $15 million to Tucker's network with Neil Patel. But this guy here, just so you know, he has also got, I think he's also friends with, his background, mother is Iranian, father is Pakistani, and he's an investor. But he's got nothing, he has no link to Qatar. He has no link to Qatar. I'm trying to find that. Not at all. And he's apparently also a link with him and Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr., I think, joined the firm in 2024, late 2024. But to me, the challenge with this is the following. Here's what the challenge with this is. I don't care if you buy a house in Qatar. I don't care if you buy a house in, Israel. I don't care if you buy a house anywhere. Here's the reality of it. If Ben Shapiro goes and buys a house in Israel, you know what they would do? This is why this is why that. Then guess what? The only time you can't expect criticism is if you don't criticize the other side for doing exactly what you're now doing. That's all it is. Nobody's got a problem with where you buy a house. You want to buy a house in Qatar? Go buy a house in Qatar. But then you kind of sit there and you realize, why are they so protective of avoiding some of the stories of Islam and Muslim and what's going on with Nigeria and what's going on with... That's the part that some people, when they question that, they're like, why are you not openly criticizing some of this stuff? Well, it makes sense. Your investor's Pakistani. Why would you criticize it? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where the money's coming from.
The investor is Pakistani, and he says, Pakistanis are very good to me. Maybe Omid Malik is very nice to you, because his family, lived in New York, and I don't know if he was raised here. Was he born and raised here?
He's born in Jersey, I think.
Yeah, so maybe he, who is probably a good guy and a good business guy, he probably is because he was born here and he's assimilated. And there's no need to call out people like him. This is probably a good, net positive citizen. But you got to be able to call out the BS on the other side. Like when you call out America and then you shit on America for certain things and then you're not willing to do the same for others that are, doing certain things. I mean, I respect the fact that he went and he called out Pierce a little bit and he said, hey, you free country, say it, say it, say it. Yeah. That whole thing that we talked about. But
can I maybe, in a weird way, give maybe an explanation and sort of a devil's advocate to maybe what Tucker's doing? So I have a friend of mine, right? He's been in and out of rehab. And every time I see him, he has his good days, he has his bad days. And on his bad days, I go, hey, dude, you got to stop. I mean, enough's enough. His response is, don't tell me what to do. I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you kind of what you maybe want to consider.
Advice. Yes.
Like when you had your drinking problem, and if I came up to you and be like, I noticed you're drinking a lot more.
Shut up, Adam.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. At some point, you do it almost out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even willing to receive criticism or feedback, and you put up a wall, and you almost do the exact opposite of what people are telling you to do. Like our friend that we had over here, we're like, don't do this, don't do this. I'm telling you, don't tell me what to do. I don't know if that's what Tucker's dealing with right now. He's been accused of being anti-Israel, been accused of being anti-Semitic, been accused of taking money from Qatar. So maybe there's an element where he's like, oh, really? Oh, really? How about I go buy a house in Qatar, tough guy? And you want to know why? Because I'm an American.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, it doesn't make sense to me, but that's the only thing I can make of it.
Pat, like, Ben Shapiro buying property in Israel would make sense.
Because he's Jewish.
You want to go to Israel, which you a staunch supporter, go ahead and do that. Tucker's a Christian, a devout pope talking about Christianity and everything all the time, and I respect him for it. Why would a Christian buy property in a Muslim country where even if your wife goes, she's going to have to cover up her head and all that shit because she's a second-class citizen? I'm just very confused. Now, it's very odd. I'll say that. I'm not confused. It's just a little weird. I don't care how much money I have. I don't care how rich you are. Why would you buy land in a all Muslim country? He can't build a church there. Would you want to have a church? No, I'm being that serious.
No, of course you cannot.
I would want as a Christian be like, hey, I'm going to come out. I've got a little church here. Good luck building a church in Qatar.
Maybe tear down my argument. Explain to me when I said he's just doing it out of spite. Like, oh yeah, you tell me I can do this. Well, I'll show you. I'm going to go move to Qatar.
No,
what is that logic?
If you buy a house somewhere, it's like the way we make decisions. Tom and I were looking at a few planes right now, and you only buy a plane if you travel a certain number of times per year. Like if it's 150, 200 hours, you consider getting a jet, okay? Or else, if I'm buying a jet to kind of have somebody else rent it out constantly and I'm not using it, why do I need to buy it? I'll just charter it. It doesn't make sense.
Of course.
Okay. Why would I buy a house in the Hamptons?
Because you love it.
Because I love
Vacation.
it, and probably I'm going to be there a good amount of time per year.
Mm-hmm.
You don't buy a vacation house if you're only planning on being there for a week. You don't buy a vacation house if you're going to be somewhere for 2 weeks. You buy it because you're going to be there often. If he's buying a house in Qatar, that means he's probably planning on being there a lot.
I agree.
So then guess what? And then the next question becomes why?
Because he's an American.
Right.
That was his response.
But to a person who is investigating it can follow and say why. What's the motive? What's the intention? What are the benefits? What are you getting? That, like, for example, look, Ronaldo. Ronaldo chose to go play for who?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Why? They were paying him very well.
Of course.
Okay, and he loves living there. He feels safe, and he loves it. And they're paying him around 230 million a year.
Ridiculous.
To play there, and they're treating him like a king.
Live golf too.
Yeah, of course. So they treat him like a king. So guess what? He chose to go live there because he's playing there. All right, that's what he's doing. But he's not
a money thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you are, what's the motive? Who knows? And you know, I don't know all the things here on what's going on.
Can we at least admit it's odd?
That's the first thing that's, by the way.
Odd is an understatement.
Thank you.
No,
okay.
odd is an understatement. I'm not telling you're asking me a question like, would I buy, I go to Aspen, let's just say a week a year. Would I buy a vacation home there? No. Absolutely not. No. Would I buy a vacation home in the Hamptons?
Yesterday.
Because what? It's a different reason.
Place.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll show you one of the things we're looking at right now. I'll show it to you while we're going through this. Okay. Tom, I think you want to say something before I go to the next story.
Well, yeah, so I looked up who's buying, what Westerners are buying in Doha, Qatar. Yeah. And here's what I found. The number one real estate group in Doha is now number one, Sotheby's. They're big in Miami. I mean, from Fisher Island to Billionaires Beach, from 14th to 22nd down there, down South Beach. Yep, Sotheby's. And Southern Europeans, Italy, even people that live in south of France who have trouble finding availability in Monaco have purchased places. Now, but let's look at a map. If you're in Italy, it's not a big flight to go down to Doha. It's not like LA going to Brisbane, right? And so apparently there's a lot of Western acceptance there. And take a look at this. They look very Western. Here's the samples here. I was looking here, and it says, you'll find right in here, European decor. That's their code word for Western decor.
Western, yeah.
Okay, luxury penthouse, $2.26 million bucks. 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and you'll notice they'll give you a 4-year payment plan, which is $47,900 a month. It says right there.
Holy moly!
So, but we'll give you 4 years. Take the whole 4 years. Don't worry about it. But the point is, there has been a concerted effort to live golf and a lot of other things. Everybody down on what's called the Big Peninsula, which is Saudi Arabia and everything, right? To attract people coming from Western cultures down there. So, okay, so it's happening. However, I just mentioned, Adam and I are neighbors in Rome, and, it's a little crowded, and, we go to Sicily a lot. We do things, but we're like, hey, we're very successful business owners. Let's go halvesies on a place in Doha, because it's almost like pronounced Honolulu, but it's clean, new, all this stuff. That would make sense for us. And it only takes us, 6 hours to get there on a flight. It's not a big deal. But why would a guy from Maine go halfway around the world, to do that when the Bahamas are right here with all kinds of stuff available in the Bahamas?
No, this is what I'm saying. It's out of spite.
Can I say one thing too? Now this kind of makes sense because, for instance, when we sit on a podcast like this and October 7th happens or this happens or whatever, and we have all different sides. Pat thinks a certain way. You think a certain way, Adam. Tom does. I have a certain way. I don't like BB's actions. I think all that stuff that we talk about, and I'm critical of somebody like Israel. Then when you have somebody like Tucker, who's critical and then starts talking, and then it keeps pushing and then pushing for the other side, and then you see him buying houses in a place that basically sponsors terrorism. You say, what quote comes up to my mind? James O'Keefe, where he goes, what's your price? Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? Because if the price is not your life, then guess what? You're for sale.
By the way,
bingo.
I've been very critical of Tucker. Obviously accomplished journalist, yada, 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 yada.
Whatever.
I even defended Nick Fuentes over him. He started off that phrase by saying, I'm not a tool of Qatar. I would just stop with, you're a tool. Because this doesn't add up.
Of course it doesn't.
None of us, we're trying to make sense of why you would move.
He's
this
American.
Isn't a vacation. This isn't a visit. You're going to go buy a place. You don't have to do this. You could just say, I really enjoyed here. I plan on coming and visit a couple times a year. Great. Buying a place? You remember we gave out shirts, plant your flag?
Yeah.
Buddy, you haven't even bought a place in Fort Lauderdale yet.
You don't even have a place in Miami yet.
Qatar. Just saying.
Yeah.
Weird stuff, Tucker.
Weird.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next story here, which is even more weird. Right-wing commentator Tim Pool's home is shot by gunmen who approached property in a vehicle. And so that's one part of the story that we can go to. Rob, can you put the tweet up? Last time a vehicle approached our property and opened fire, no one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. Can you go to his Twitter account, by the way, and when he posts that? So he posts that, and let's see what the latest is. Go to see what's the latest he's given on what happened with him. Somebody stopped by his place, and he's been extremely critical. Zoom in a little bit, Rob. So there is a reason Barry Weiss, go a little bit lower. The reason Barry Weiss has to spend $10,000 per day on bodyguards. Okay, Congress, keep going lower. Keep going lower. Security believes that shots were fired. Okay, go in the comment section there. We're in contact with police and FBI. Thank you for everyone who reached out. If anyone has achieved Chicken City, the shots are audible. Unfortunately, we do not archive the live stream. There will be Friday night to midnight. So go a little bit lower to see what the market is saying about it. Nope, yes, my head. Free, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, boom, guns, Tim Pool, line. Okay, so the audience is giving him a hard time. Go back on previous tweets. Let's see what else we find. Go back on previous tweets. Is there anything else below it? Keep going, keep going, keep going. So that's that one. Is there anything else? Nothing he's shown. Maybe thoughts are someone is trying to scare us, maybe with security guard and armed guards, and so different. Okay, you want to approach, open fire, no one was hurt. Click on the December 6th tweet. Go a little bit lower, Rob. That's the one that got 8 million views. Okay, so this is the one. So Megyn Kelly, this is awful. I'm so sorry. Keep going a little bit lower, lower. Sorry to happen. Everyone is okay. Retard finder BS has to stop. Michael Flynn. Okay, so this is the part where the East Coast, West Coast gangster rap, it's getting a little bit like that right now, and the temperatures are very high. You got to be careful with this, where it's going right now. Now, he did have a guy named Milo on the podcast, and Milo gets up there. There's some very weird stories that came up the last few days. He says, why would you even go there? He's on a podcast with Milo and George Santos. And Milo makes a claim about Charlie Kirk. And then there was another claim over the weekend that I think Charlie's about to divorce and leave Erica Kirk. These two stories are hitting up at the same time, Rob, if you want to find the other one as well. But play this one first. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm always a couple of days behind watching on the show because I've got stuff going on. But somebody tweeted today that Candace said that she believed that they were about to get a divorce. I think he was gay. I think he was gay. And
come on, you know that you do know that I've criticized. What? Like I'm sorry, Tim, but like, why would you even go there? To say something like that?
Oh, I'll tell you why.
No. The man's dead. You're calling now. You think he's gay.
That's when people can talk. That's when people can tell the truth.
Okay.
That just like I don't know. Oh, man.
So there's two things. One, that Erica Kirk was about to get a divorce, and two, that Charlie was about to divorce Erica, and two, that Charlie's gay.
I don't.
What
believe
is the
that.
history between Milo and Charlie, Rob? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I'll take a look.
I don't listen. Milo was on fire.
If I can say,
go ahead.
Charlie's been relevant for 10 years.
More,
right?
Yeah,
but legit.
Yeah.
Milo hasn't been relevant in 10 years.
Very good point.
So there's probably very little overlap, my assumption.
Yes. He was because he was, mind you, Milo was, like you
was
said,
the original gay conservative.
He was out there, he was talking, he was pushing, like, I'm talking about, like, with numbers, with crime, with you name it, he was that guy. Then he disappeared, and now apparently, which I do respect a lot, he's like, listen, I have been celibate for 5 years. Yes, I'm gay, but I'm not practicing that because it's just not good and it's evil. And this is coming from him. He's saying that, and I respect that. But this type of salacious, he was gay, as if he has receipts, okay? And George made a good point. He's dead, okay? He can't even defend himself. So now you say that, and now trolls are just out there in their minds, and they're going to keep adding. Oh, he was going to leave Erica and all this nonsense. I think it's BS. And then he also, Pat, if you want him to play the clip first, because he talked about Benny Johnson too. He went at Benny Johnson on this same podcast and said Benny did allegedly some crazy gay stuff. Which, mind you, did you know that a guy showed up to Benny's house on December 6th, Robbie? I slacked it to you. He said this man, Andrew Ayer, showed up at his house. He was ranting about me and went door to door in my neighborhood trying to find me, terrifying my neighbors. We believe he was armed and fled before the cops arrived. And you could go down, Robbie, to the guy. That's the guy. So this weekend was a trend of people trying to either shoot up conservative houses or trying to go and find them. I don't know if Ayer is Middle Eastern or whatever. But then Milo claimed that Benny has done some crazy gay stuff in his past. And then even George Santos goes, this is libelous. He could come after you and he could sue you. And Milo said, I've been doing this for 15 years. Nobody's ever sued me because I have receipts. And then, Rob, if you want to show that, is this it?
Sexual overtones. Benny Johnson posts pictures of his children every 2 days. It's weird. And everybody knows what went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms at SAS. Everybody knows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Men. Younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 SASs in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
Student Action Summit.
But go ask her.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on, Milo.
Go ask her.
Milo, aren't you ever scared of getting sued?
See?
You say some crazy...
let me
I'm sitting here like, I am humbled by the lore.
Wow.
And you're
George Santos is like, you're a liar.
Look, there's no teapots in this room right now to express how I feel.
George, I have said these things about people for 20 years and never once in my career been sued. I've issued 3 corrections in my entire journalistic career because I get my facts right. And people know that they do not want to go through discovery.
Actually, I want to say this.
I've never been sued for anything I've ever said about anyone.
The one thing I need to say this. Because I'm right. The most terrifying thing about Milo is that he knows all your secrets. I know. He knows everybody's lore. Trust me. I am terrified of Milo.
So Benny Johnson, Rob, can you show Benny tweeted, and Benny said, like, I have no choice, basically, and he has to go after him. Can you find that one, Robbie? Yeah. I think he said it. It was very recent.
Tweets a lot. Hang on.
Yeah, jeez, he's out there.
Here it is.
Yeah. I'm duty bound to take action to protect my family against those who maliciously defame and attack us. More to come soon. Pray for the healing for some of these really sick, delusional people. Jesus is about redemption. The legal system is about justice. Happy Sunday. Did you see Milo's response? Milo responded to this, and
read the comment section to see if there's maybe anything there that Milo maybe commented in the bottom.
Don't pray for your enemies. Laura Loomer saying, Benny Johnson, pray for your enemies to be destroyed and celebrate when they struggle. We don't have time for compassion for evil people. Break them down and conquer them with psychological warfare until they beg for mercy. Don't pray for them. Yeah, Milo's, Robbie, I think I put it in our group chat that I put what Milo said, and it was Milo's basically...
Just go to Milo's account, see what Milo's saying. Maybe you'll find something if you go to
Oh, it's
Milo.
right here.
Okay.
Holy moly!
Oh
guys,
my God!
We're not.
No, we're not gonna read all of it.
The shorter version.
Yeah, exactly. He basically says to him and his wife, "I know more about defamation," and he says, "I know about more than your marriage than I think." He goes, "I know about nocturnal liaisons de generous." I don't know. He's speaking French with chaps and assless chaps, and about being caught in flagrant delicto and conferences attended by students. Some of them. So basically, Milo's saying, if you want to bring it, because I have proof that Benny Johnson was allegedly with young boys. Boys? Young boys. This is what he's saying. And what he's saying is, Pat, what he's saying is all this kids and you're taking photos is to kind of diminish that you're really a gay guy. By the way, I don't respect unless
to me it's all
it's all noise.
signal.
And about the Charlie thing, that is
That's
the
where
most
I'd like to focus for a
BS,
second.
disrespectful. Like, he's lucky somebody doesn't punch him in the face. That's to do that to a guy that's dead and dealing with everything that like his whole family's dealing with. Come on, bro. Come on. Unless you slept with him and you have proof, shut up,
dude.
Unbelievable.
There's some things you just say, "Cool, buddy, nice story," and just keep it moving. To claim that Charlie Kirk, a masculine, tall, strapping man, that is a leader amongst leaders, married, kids. When have you ever heard any claim like that? Ever against Charlie? Not even one. Talking about biblical prophecy, talking about what it's like. The one thing that I would be critical of Charlie on, the one thing was he thinks step one for a young man should be get married. To me, that's like step 5. Like make money, have a career, have a profession, do good, save up some money. Then all right. So you think Charlie's just living a lie? That to me is stupidity. Yeah, it's dumb. Number 2. Back to the beginning of this segment, Tim Pool's house apparently got shot at.
His house or a studio? I don't know what it was, Rob.
I think it's like a compound that they all work out of.
Let's just connect some dots for a second. Who's the one person that Tim Pool has been beefing with hard for a few weeks now? Candace Owens. Where was she? I'm not accusing anybody. I would never. I'm just connecting dots. I'm just asking questions. Guys, I'm just asking questions.
I see what you're doing here.
I don't know if I thought about it. People are telling me, like it could have come in a dream. I don't know. But where was Candace when Tim Pool? I would never accuse her of such a thing. I would never. But where was she? You know? I don't know. But I know. But you know what I know? You know. But I'm not saying she would never. Anyway. I wish you the best.
Rob, what is this, Rob?
Adam sent this. I believe this is Benny Johnson
this is what
reading
Tim
a tweet.
Pool had to say about Candace, I believe. If you can punch in that. I received information this morning that put the final pieces together for me. I can now say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by Candace Owens and some of the very people who claimed to be his friend. Yes, I will be naming names and providing evidence for my claims. I am making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated to this organization to say thank you. You were lied to, and Candace
He's basically
knew.
took her tweet, Candace's tweet, and basically made it like how she posted
He
it.
called her a POS. He called her scum. Last podcast. Listen, I've been critical of Candace. I didn't go this far.
Is this
something's up here?
The whole Candace, not because I know you want. We're doing more, or no, we're done. No. I was just asking if you have any more stories. You know what would like 9 Assyrians heard that? You know what? Like, is this a good suggestion to squash the whole Candace TPUSA on the live stream? An outside party will pay for a professional.
Oh, no, they invited her.
No, Adam. I'm
She
talking
was
about,
busy
I'm
that
talking
day.
about. Have Candace say who's the number one person, because I don't know. I don't follow it like this. Whoever the number one person is that she thinks was involved with Charlie's assassination, that's what TPUSA.
Bibi Netanyahu
Hold
can't
on,
make
no,
it that
ready
day,
for this? No, from TPUSA. Have him come on a live stream. We would pay for a outside, hold on, I'm talking about the number one polygraph giver in the United States. Have him sit down and do the preliminary questions. Are you this? Are you wearing this color? And just, Adam, look how easy this is. One question. Were you involved with Charlie Kirk's assassination? If they pass, she has to pack up the bags and it's over. But if they fail that question, then there's a problem. But I'm mad. Like, just get it over with. Ask the question that you want. Because, by the way,
can't get it over with, Vinny, because then there's no watch me on the next episode.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. You want to squash it? And people always go, lie detector tests aren't accurate. Then why does the FBI use them? Why does the law enforcement use them? Watch the show The First 48. If you want to say, hey, listen, I'm good, take a lie detector test and you pass it like that, they'll let you go. Period.
With all this unity, you want to take a look at midterm polling data? Shall we look at that?
It's not looking good.
That's my parting shot. That's not a snarky comment, even though it was. My comment, and it's not aimed at you guys. It's at this whole echo chamber. We got midterms coming up. And pretty soon, we're not going to be arguing with each other about this stuff. We're going to be sitting there saying, oh, we lost Congress, and now we're trying to figure out how to get laws passed to get things moved forward, and now the president doesn't have a Congress on his side.
Yeah.
That's where this is heading. Then you know what we get to talk about? What are we going to do for these 2 years to take the country back? You know what I mean?
Is that a crazy cow sheet? They're saying there's a 75% chance the Democratic Party is going to win in the midterms.
My comment, Pat, is
Great.
with
Candace
all...
said,
what?
Who cares about your midterms? That's what she said.
Yeah.
Who said
No,
that?
by the way,
Candace.
did you hear?
Yes.
Candace said, who cares about your midterms? Like,
Did you
who
hear
gives a
that?
damn?
Yeah, and Tim Pool's biggest knock against Candace was, we are trying to win the midterms, and you are going to cost us
Forget
it.
about Tim Pool. Forget about Tim Pool. For me, the problem becomes here. What did Charlie Kirk do for the last 15 years to protect what? So when you say who cares about the midterms, you're saying who cares about Charlie's vision.
Right.
Bingo.
So to me, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's your midterms for you next year.
And this is
if it
pretty
goes the way that it
accurate.
does.
And
This
this
is
is
pretty
why the
freaking
one
accurate.
thing that I say about Candace is she's a bad friend. A friend wouldn't try to tear down Charlie's legacy. She's hammer, nail, just... It makes no sense to me.
That's scary.
Tucker's buying a house in Qatar. Candace is tearing down Turning Point USA. And George Santos has more logic than any of you yahoos out there at this point. Good luck. 2025, 2026 can't come soon enough. Midterms.
Okay, gang, we will do this again on Wednesday. Oh, tomorrow we have a special podcast coming up with the billionaire, John Morgan. We had a little bit too much fun with him. Rob, if you want to put this up there, I think you do have a clip on this. Watch this. This comes out tomorrow morning. You will crack up. He looks at the screen and he says, Pam Bondi, you know you still love him. You know you still love him. Go ahead, Rob.
When Bill Gates married Melinda Gates in his prenup, that he could go off for 1 week a year with his old girlfriend.
Stop it.
Yes, Google that.
Why would she agree to that?
Google that.
Money.
Melinda's agreement, which involve activities like dune buggy riding, walking on the beach, and discussing technology and life, a tradition that
I'd like to know what went on that dune buggy. I'd like to know what went on in that dune. They're calling it dune buggy. I call it dune buggery. Put buggery up there on the screen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
No, he is out of control. Tom knows you're not going to go any lower, are you?
No, that's...
Is that what I think it is?
He's got an elevator button, it looks like.
He's got an elevator button.
I'll tell you that guy on the left, I want to be him. That guy needs a fucking holster.
Honey, John Morgan's talking about your dangling, and he was actually very complimentary. No way, babe.
You're schlong.
You're schlong. By the way, this guy's a lawyer. And you know who used to work for him? You know who used to work for him? Bobby Kennedy used to work for him. And right before he went to politics, the last year he worked for John Morgan, Morgan, guess what he got paid that year? $9 million ish. You have to watch this.
RFK Jr.?
The guy is connected with. The 2 days before he was with me at dinner with Bill Clinton for 5 hours.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding with you. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting guy.
No, the big Miami Heat sponsor.
Yeah.
You see their billboards on I-95.
He spent $350 million on advertising just last year. $350 million just last year. Okay, Rob. Gang, tomorrow, 9 a.m., but we'll do it again on Wednesday. Business Podcast. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.